Yo guys, I always have to remember that it's like the first 6 through 10 seconds or something like that of the stream, what it looks like to me, they are never on the stream. So, and it's different, it's not exact to the second every time. So I have to do like a calculated guess. But I saw Y said that the spirit is strong this Sunday. Couldn't agree more, brother. How are you? I've had yet another amazing day. All my days, literally for the last 2 weeks, and they were good days before then too, but it's like every day has been like, yep, wouldn't change a thing. I mean, I would have learned from my mistakes and rest a bit sooner, but I've increasingly gotten better during these days, and it's always, I cannot compare. I did the best at the time, and I learned from my mistakes, so how can I want to change all the days? No, they were all perfect. Just like everything is, when you allow it to be, get out of your way to make room for the way, right? Finally, I get to speak in this big pompous way again. I've been around, more normal people today, people I love, but where I'm not Coach Theo, if you understand. I'm just Theo. Still a big mouth, but cannot be using all the big words all the time. I had a great day. How are you guys? How are you guys? Yeah, well, you're a few here. Why? Yo, Theo, I'm great. Glad you're doing well, brother. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Seems, yeah, you say you're great. I think you are. It's so interesting, when I start thinking why it's a name, a guy that's been around here for over a year now, and mostly makes his voice heard on streams. But then I start thinking, like, I wonder who this guy is, where does he live, what does he do, what does his life look like? I never get to know as much about anyone else as you guys get to know about me. And still, you don't get to know everything about me. I have a life outside the YouTube camera, right? The point being is, I many times wish I got to know and see more of the people on the other side, That's a point I make when I bully back the bullies, the anonymous bullies, and, I make fun of them. For instance, like, oh, you'll never your body won't matter with that face when it comes to women or something. It's like, oh, that's really brave and cool of you to say, faceless avatar, make a point of it. And I say this, I don't think it's inherently wrong to be, anonymous or semi-anonymous, whatever you want to call it, online. If you're gonna know, like, how should I put that? It's immediately wrong if you're like an anonymous hater. It's like, oh, you're a freaking coward. You use the safety here to be, to be brave enough to do your evil deeds. It's like, yeah, there's nothing cool about that. It's not as bad if you're just anonymous and you know that. It's like, I shouldn't argue with people. I shouldn't present arguments to a person that's completely out there. And I base a lot of what I say on them as a person while I hide everything about myself. It's like that you just have to understand, right? So if you can be anonymous and nice, it's like, okay, that's cool. You're somewhere in the middle now. Still though, I got to say, the problem in this world, online or not, is that people hide their true selves, right? Hide their true selves. People have so many fears of showing who they truly are. And they make up these stories about it. Oh, my job, my this, my that. Oh no, I wouldn't want to be associated with this and that. Yeah, you're scared of being abandoned. We know. Like everyone. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why, I don't even know how anonymous you are, but this whole spiel wasn't all about you, of course. But I'm just saying, I would love to see more people just use their actual face and name. It's a strange thing, Just think of it in real life. Of course, people wear masks of different degrees. You know, I go around all stone face. I'm really unhappy. You know, that kind of mask. But at least, I cannot just show up somewhere, disguise myself, hide my identity away completely, and then just, I don't know, start giving reviews, telling other people in a restaurant while I'm wearing like this balaclava, Do you say that? Balaclava, baklava? One of them is like pastry, and one of them is the robbing mask. When I wear the robbing mask, I run into a restaurant like, everyone, the food here sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. That wouldn't be okay. Eye slipper. We have 10 people. Please like, and keep talking in the chat. Super chat. Sunday super chat. Spiritual super chats on a Sunday stream. That's what we're looking for here. Yeah, so I got one question from Eye Slipper. Eye Slipper, hey man, what's your favorite type of nature? Like forest, snow, desert? It's interesting. It's very much, in this world, everything exists by contrast. So it's like you cannot truly appreciate something before you've seen something else. So really, I think if I have to pick one, like that's my favorite one, I would pick the green, like forest. But I didn't appreciate it so much until I traveled to some places. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to put the finger on how I feel about green and forest. It feels like it holds me a bit more. Like the weather is now, it's a bit too windy, or it's like it's the right amount of windy. But for my preference, when it's not too hot, but nice and warm and sunny, and it's green. It's like, I feel like the weather is just like, the nature is just like holding you nicely. The sun on your face, a bit hotter, the kind of more cool energy from the green leaves. I like it. I like it the most if I have to pick one. But as a Swede, and a contrast in that, I love being at a beach also. Like going to like a great Greek beach. That's great. So really, yeah, if I have to pick one, like this is where I like it the most. It's a green forest. Of course, the snow here is pretty cool when it's the same climate in the winter too. But then definitely beach. Love the beach. The sea, the salt water, the sun, and the sand. Do you see how everything falls in line like that? Sea, salt water, and sand. Yeah, guys, looking for a good location here. Like if you haven't, keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. Yeah. This is what I mean, that people, if they don't hide their face, they hide their voice too, It's like everything is hidden, except your consciousness. Your consciousness is deep in your body. But, I can just know. I see a number, it's ticking around 10. I never know, it's never truly accurate, but around there. So I can know, yeah, there's some consciousness tuning into this. No idea, other than that. Isn't that boring? Isn't that really boring? Like, it's a genuine question. Why not, participate more? Like a baby, again. It's like, do you see how I, try to provoke and trigger even the nice people that are here into daring to not only speak to me here, in general, because I know if you do this on my stream, you do it in your life. You hide away, you watch, you observe things from the outside. Don't get involved yourself. Miyahi, Nick, Big Nick. It's funny, I had that program because I had a client called Nick. Nick the Stick Gets Thick. Just made me realize. But yeah, you said I like deserts. There's something magical about the vastness of it and the heat. Yeah. I mean, like an actual desert. I mean, the beach, it's similar, of course, if it's really hot summer weather. There's a beach, but of course you have the sea. that's a big difference with a desert, I guess. That it's just sand. I've just been, I think, in one like real desert, and even that was kind of a baby desert. What's it called? It's like around the like Grand Canary Island somewhere when I'm little. Like I'm in it like between 6 and 10 years old, somewhere there. Yeah, it's like a desert, but not too big. Ice Slipper says that deserts are awesome. Yeah, never been to one though, so I don't know if I like it. It's funny, you're excited about the desert before even going there. Love it. Love that. Can I sit here? Like, you know, I would not go to this location I'm in now if it was at a Sunday evening, because there would be way too many cars. There's still some cars. Mia, they actually call me Sticks in school all the time. LMAO. Well, the other Nick and I, how should I put it? There's no bad blood between us, but we kind of, how should I put it? How should I even put it? It's like nothing went wrong, but we kind of sort of, like he had a service to offer me as well, you could say. And I could just see that kind of neither of us could handle that dynamic. We would have needed it to be like, hey, you're the coach now, whatever it is on, right? Like it was more on business side of things with him. And so I think we're going to get in touch and we're probably going to pick up. But what I'm going to say is that maybe you're the actual Nick the Stick that gets thick, stickless. But that Nick is quite the stick at the moment. Gotta check in with old Nick, the other Nick. Yeah, keep a question coming, guys. Please like. It's like, honestly, people are so fucking entitled in this life. No, I should just be able to watch, not contribute, not like even lift my finger to click the like button. See, someone listened. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. You know, some people will tell you, Theo, is it really in your best interest to constantly insult the people watching you? In my best interest, I'm not sure. It's in the interest of the truth of how things are. Like, stop being so fucking afraid of expressing yourself in this life. For your sake, you know. Yeah, you asked about my macros. Yeah, nice. Thank you for listening about the likes. Who will win the race to the first super chat? Widge88. Hey, what does your diet typically look like in terms of macros? Do you consume a lot of carbs? So, since you're asking typically, that helps, because right now I'm very much in work mode, and so I end up eating too little most days, and it's the protein I focus on. So right now, like, it's like I even have it here, some carbs. This is water and juice and electrolytes. So right now, it's like getting the protein by any means necessary, like eggs, quark, yogurt, meat. Whenever I can get something like that, I eat that. I drink a lot of carbs, because right now it's like about time efficiency. I can just like glug, 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 get the carbs like that. And then fat is what it is. No, but so typically, I love carbs. I always had that focus, like protein goes first. Protein is a central thing. Then pretty much, you know, it varies, but let's put it this way. My ideal ratio I'd like to go for a lot of the time is like the protein, you know, the kind of rule, kind of 2 grams per gram of ideal body weight or more. Why not 200 grams of protein? Then with the rest of my calories, I would like 25 to 30% to be from fat. Let's say 20 to 30, it depends, you know. And then the rest from carbs, as many carbs as I can get. But when I'm bulking, it's often hard for me to keep those ratios and get enough. So often I eat a bit more fat than the percent I'd like, because it's the easiest way to raise the total. But yeah, man, protein focus. I'm not letting go of it with all the freaking sugar diet, stupid people, and the keto people. I'm like, well, I go straight in the middle. I tell you about protein, and I tell you carbs are king, but you need some fats, and the ratio isn't the end of the world. Just don't do anything extreme with it, You'll be fine. That's kind of my reasoning. The sugar diet thing and the keto thing, in my view, temporary solutions that work for some people because of the situation they find themselves in at that time. But then the goal, I think, should be something quite close to what I just described for most people. Let's sit down here. I'm going to show you. Like, people clearly go, this is a place people go. Yeah, I see like little old joints here. Beer can. See? Is this like someone has just put this bench here a long time ago? There we have the father-son street. Or there's a big highway kind of. I'm gonna be here. So we have some guys like talk to big bro or little bro. I mean, if you're on the stream, you're probably not my big bro, but a bro you can be. I have so much these days, guys. Different degrees of people being unable to submit to their role in the current dynamic. Because, you know, I don't go around just like the city and expect people to like acknowledge that I'm Giga Chad. I mean specifically in dynamics where it's like, well, I'm supposed to be the one that, you know, you listen more to than the other way around. So many people cannot do that. They cannot handle it. They rebel, throw tantrums. Ugh. This is nice. It's kind of funny, you know, the different streams. I kind of always let my intuition dictate where I end up sitting. It's like always slightly new location, not always, but many times. So let's see what you've said, guys. Still jaywalking. Have you experimented? Okay, well, let's see in the order here. Good guys. Okay, we have some questions. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being co-creators of the stream. Everyone else, you know, thank you, just a little less, because you're doing less. My uncle sent me a picture. I had a walk with my uncle today. It was very interesting. I'm always trying to clarify the puzzle piece of the family. Me and my cousin, I'm gonna get to your stuff, of course, guys. But yeah, me and my cousin Diana, that I have a podcast with on this channel, we are sort of healing. We are the healers of the family, and there's a lot going on now. But yeah, guys, like if you haven't. Yeah, my uncle, he's making sure now that he sent all the good pictures to me. That's nice of him. He will send a super chat. Show some love. Show some love for Theo and Uncommon Sense. But definitely chat in general. Yeah. Thanks, Uncle. Let's see. Paladin Dance. For non-competitive naturals, what body fat do you recommend cutting and bulking between? That's an interesting question. Thank you for that. If you're gonna do my school of things, I would say the span I would tend to like is like, you know, it depends on how wide you make it for different purposes. You know, I want to say 8 to 18% body fat. Yeah. The funny thing about that is that when you have some more muscle, keep getting do the mute of the notification sound. There we go. I promise now he's gonna be finished anyway. It's always like that. Thanks God, divine timing. No, but I think 8 to 18. But it's like, it's not unhealthy to go above 18%. It's not, now we're talking about the ideal that I think natural bodybuilders should stay in between. Because 8%, it's right there when you're like really, really freaking shredded almost at that point. But you can still do well. And of course that varies differently. You know, it varies a little bit for people. But I would say somewhere around there is the cutoff when people are actually going to get some side effects from being really lean. So that's the leanest. And then 18%, I'm just like, well, I just don't think you have to get much more than that. Like, I think I'm even being like generous in a sense. But certain people, could you serve them to, if they're a slightly higher body fat, it's like, oh, it's nothing wrong with it. It depends on the circumstance. But I'm talking about the idea, like, let's say you're a natural bodybuilder up and running. You can get really lean. You can bulk, right? At that point, when you've mastered it, it's like, well, no lower than what you just feel bad from, of course. And why get too fat for no good reason at all when you bulk? So yeah, I went up, before I move on from this point, I went up to 92.5 kilos at my heaviest this year. I would guess I'm right there at 18%. You know, I have abs, they're just less defined. I have a shoulder vein, I have a biceps vein. In good lighting, and with a pump, you know, I'm still gonna look pretty you know, detailed like that. And now I'm down to like between 83 and 84. Really pretty damn lean at this point. I hope, you know, you do what you want, of course, but I hope I answered your question well. Still jaywalking. Keep liking the stream, guys. Keep the chats coming. A super chat make me very happy on this spiritual super chat Sunday. So, solar soldier, as I am. For no, that's the next one. Have you experimented with pure carnivore or raw diet? Might be late, maybe you already addressed this. Yeah, because I talk about it on every stream. No, I haven't talked about it in a long time now, just because you said that. I'm like, have I talked about it recently? No, I never tried that. But you know, I've eaten lots of raw liver. I eat raw egg yolks every day. The most meat that I cook very rare. Like when I buy like ground beef from a butcher, when I make beef patties, I will just give it a little, we call it like frying surface in Sweden, stekyta. I would just fry it so that it has a little surface. It isn't all raw, but then it's like all pink on the inside. And I like that. You know, it's more nutritious. Most of the meat is like more bioavailable when it comes to nutrition, like micronutrients in there. But it's more satiating when you cook it. Just compare, you know, just eating raw ground beef as it is. When you cook it, it's like, you know, it's denser now. And, you know, you have to chew it more. It's like more filling in that way. So yeah, man, never tried full-on carnivore or raw eating. But I'm a big fan of meat as the most important foods of the diet. And why cook it all, you know, to death all the time? It's probably kind of literally what you do. Cook it to death. Pat Gaming Apa Style. Hey man, it's been a while. Good to see you around. I always get happy. I'm quite good at remembering people around the channel in life and that too. So yeah, I'm always happy when I see someone I haven't seen in a while. I hope you're well. Hope your wallet is well, and that you will wager you see, it's not always easy. There aren't infinite words, but I'm just saying you should send a super chat. So he said, hey Theo, in the morning my mind keeps going to some sad and frustrating stuff that happened to me a while back. Is there a way I can deal with these thoughts or maybe stop ruminating on them? Well, I'll take some time for this one. And you just do what you want about the super chat factor there. So you have negative thoughts in the morning. You keep going to some sad and frustrating stuff that happened to me a while back. Well, the thing is, man, it depends on where in the process you are. Sometimes we have to be sad and ruminate. You know, it's part of a grieving process. I don't know exactly what happened or when it was. But when you notice that nothing changes, because, you know, you can be feeling bad, for instance, and do something similar, but you notice that something is new, something is different now. When, at a point when it's the same thing every day, if that's what happens, you're now, it's not productive anymore. Like, there's a certain amount of needing to feel, needing to think through, to learn the lesson, if there was one, you know. But then, what you're doing, why it's a pattern after a while, is because you're in the same pattern yourself, you know. You just run circles in your head in the same thing. Oh, I wish I did this and that. If only that and that. You're really not making a decision to move on, let go from whatever it is. So, man, what I would recommend is, I mean, you can journal and meditate, pray, you know, whatever would be the best medium you think for you. I think at this point, probably, if you ruminate and think about those sad things, probably journal, put some words on it. It kind of, you know, with the good thing with journaling, me that's not huge on reading, I like reading, but I really like writing. And the great thing about that is you kind of pretty much exactly externalize what's on the inside. Both in a sense that you get to, how should I put that? Structure what you're thinking and feeling a bit more. But also that it's literally kind of like you took it out, you put it on a paper, kind of literally what's happening. So that could be a practice, but the last step is like just move into action earlier in the day. Because that's the thing, when you're depressed, part of it, like grieving, is a little bit, you have to live in the past, like I said, to kind of go over, if this and that, or there's this lesson, I should do this next time, But at the point, now you're just living in the past for no good reason. And the only way to replace what's going on the inside then is to fill it up with new stuff. Instead of going over the same old shit that just wears you down at that point, fill your head and your entire experience, your vessel, with new stuff. So, for instance, to round this point off, if you currently don't train in the morning, that would be a great thing to be like, just shake off how you feel as fast as possible, get into training. You take positive action. It's going to be sort of state switch. It's a sort of sequence break from the typical place you are. But then other than that, like getting active early in the day, just actively think like, what can I do? What can I do that's new? Can I be more outgoing with friends? Is there any new hobby, some kind of class, course I could sign up to? That kind of thing. And I am great at this stuff, guys. Honestly, like it's like these answers that I'm giving you. You should pay. Honestly, you should pay $100 per answer. That's how good they are. I'm not saying that you have to. Trying to really underline that this sort of answer you don't get from just anyone, because I've been in all these fucking terribly difficult situations by myself, trying to figure it out, find some really great solutions. And then when you're just hit hard by life, it's like your wounds are so active that you still cannot act. Like right now, it's very easy for me to say all of this. I will still act on it the best I can at those places, but it's never as easy. But in the end, they are the same things that lead to a better place. So I hope that it was helpful. Like, if you haven't, guys, consider doing the super chat. If you agree with what I said. Nick Miahi. Stiklas. Do the non-private doctors in your country suck too? I don't understand it anymore. No matter where I go and other people around me go, no doctor takes you seriously and can never tell you what you have. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much experience with doctors for this reason that I think it's kind of bullshit a lot of the time. Again, never as a concept. It's like if I would talk shit about the school here, it's not the concept of education, it's the way, it's the form they're doing it right now. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say generally, but I would guess, you're in Germany, I would guess it's quite similar here. It's like, it's a toxic it has to do with school, actually. Like here, and I'm guessing in many places, doctor, it's a very status-filled job. So many people, they just studied, like little NPC slave people. Just memorize by heart, please the teacher. Memorize by heart, please the teacher. To get the status job, to please mom and dad, or society's expectations, There's none of it that's run by, hey, I think I'd make a great doctor. I'm really passionate about healing people. The funny thing is, that the Swedish word for doctor, like the doctor you go see, is läkare. And it literally means healer. I'm an actual healer, I've healed myself and I help people heal through many different means, which, honestly, supplements, some medicine, I can have an idea about that kind of thing too. But somehow, okay, a healer now, that's someone that read a lot of books, memorized a lot of stuff with their intellect, and then what they end up doing is like mostly prescribe pills to people. And they're usually not that healthy themselves. They're far from, health, heal. You see how those words go together? And in Swedish, the läkare, läka, to heal. Läkare, healer. And still the healers, so-called, are like fat, stupid. I mean, I remember this one guy, when I had the panic attacks. I had a decent doctor, actually. And I was like happy that I was going to get to see her. I knew that she was going to understand what's going on with me, with the panic attacks. Then it was so hard. It was during that time when I had panic attacks. It was like a battle to get to the doctor even, then she's sick and is temp. And I can tell immediately, even back then, I can tell immediately this fucking bookworm guy, he just studied his way here. He doesn't give a shit about the profession or me. He sits, looks like a question mark all the time when I'm talking. And he's like, yeah, well, you know, I don't know, but here's some Atharax, whatever those are called in English, this terrible pill. It's not a benzo, it's just something that's supposed to make you feel calm or something. I just remember that it's like the weakest shitty like high effect. And then you feel like super tired the next day. Like that, this clown, this is a sort of healer, quote unquote, this system creates. Bookworm doesn't know shit, doesn't really care, you know. I had to come back when my real doctor was there, and she understood, and she gave me what I needed. Thank you, Åsa. You know, I know you don't work in that place anymore. I get the sense that I should reach out to you. She told me, actually, I'll move on from this, but she did tell me when I came at some point, and I've come there troubled all the other times, that I don't remember about what. I just remember I was doing better with something, and that she said that, well, it's always good to see a patient improve. So she cared. That's the thing. Do you see? That's the key. What a doctor actually needs to care for the other person, not just about their status, you know. I need to look her up, Åsa, reach out and tell her how great I'm doing. And thank her for that. So interesting. I wasn't gonna like dwell on this, but it is so interesting that she was part of it at the start. She helped me do my program. My program on being on sick leave for 50%. So I could go to this job, expose myself to the panic attack risk, and go back. We'll move on, but thank you, Åsa. I'll keep you in mind. I'll reach you when it's time to reach you. It's Lazy Lol. Hey, bro. Hey, hey. Musical stab artist. Walking in with his big hands. No rocks today. Mo for gains. Good evening, brother. Good evening to you. Please like the stream, guys. Send a super chat. Send a regular chat. Yeah, send love. Send contribution. Send more than your eyes on a screen, please. And you went on, Mia. They barely let you talk for 3 minutes, and then they get up and just point you to the door. Here's the pill. Here's the pill. Still jaywalking says, interesting, thanks. Yeah, it was about the body fat percentage. Miahi, Nick, again, it's a bit like every doctor you come across has faked their license or something. Although I have to admit that many times I was being a hypochondriac again and accusing the doctors of being wrong because they aren't worried. Turns out they were correct most of the time. I always leave the doctor feeling like I didn't make any step forward with my shit. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, you know, two things. Someone told me this recently. I mean, I'm well aware of it. It was a misunderstanding, this, so it doesn't matter. But it's fresh in my mind for this reason, that two things can be true at once. You may have spotted something that, hey, I don't even think these people know what they're truly doing. I'm not, you know, this doesn't seem right. They listened to me for a few minutes. But it can be true that you know, what you've told me before, that you were a hypochondriac. 33. You see what I mean? Maybe, you know, you project that, you focus on the thing that, they don't really know what they're doing with their job, to kind of lie to yourself that you know what's really up with you. But maybe the truth is, yeah, you were a hypochondriac and this person was not great at what they're doing. You say that it's almost like they faked their license or something. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The people in this world, they get attached to all the wrong stuff. It's like that video I made earlier this year that some people still bring up and don't understand the point of, because they're triggered, because they have therapists, right? Because I made a point that it's stupid to think that the best person to help someone, it's the one with the paper on the wall back here that says therapist. No, the person best suited to help someone is the person that's best suited to help someone. And that could be, sometimes that could be a freaking bum, you know? Probably not, but it could be. And sometimes it would not be the person in the nicest suit, in the nicest office with the nicest diploma. That's all fake shit. It's not real. You know, it's supposed to stand for something, but we all know that it doesn't anymore. That, you know, many of you will recognize that many of the people that you went to school with that had the highest grades are some of the most stupid people you know. because they're just imitating. Imitate. You know, I want to be a doctor to please mom and dad, to please society. I study. I just do whatever I'm told to please the teacher. I don't really think about people. I don't really care about people, healing them. But I got the paper that says I'm a smart doctor now, so I'm a smart doctor now. Here, come in. I'm not understanding, but here, take some pills. Okay, see ya. See, people are really interested in the drama. It's funny. It's funny, you know. It's so funny. You cannot do it right when you're in this position. And I don't mean my position only. I mean a person with an audience. When I argue with haters, it's like, oh, Theo, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. And when I try to not do it too much, especially on streams, because I said that I engage in that kind of thing. I will do it in comments. I will make points about it in videos. I can make some points about it here, but I don't want to get directly involved. Mainly, now, like for the most part on these streams, I want to keep the streams for the good guys. Still, the good guys come on the stream and are like, oh, how is it with that troll? How is it with that hater? So you wanted to hear about it now? It's like, you cannot make it. I'm gonna tell you something about that. I'm just gonna see what else is here. Please, Pat Gaming Ape says, I'd be sure to send a super chat when I get a job to you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, of course. I'm hoping that my plea will make someone that's able to do it right this moment do it. But yeah, it is a message to keep. Send me a super chat. Gonna be more streams. That's the point, though. I keep telling you guys that there's gonna come a time when there's gonna be like, well, I don't have the time or energy to prioritize this anymore. It's not that what I personally get in return is not enough, unfortunately. Now, I wish I didn't have to think like that at all, but that's kind of really Theo's issue. Theodor, my full name, the gift from God. I've accepted that the pattern of me is that I will always give a bit more of myself away to others than I keep to myself. And I'm working on that always. Yeah, I'm working on that always. But you see, it's like hard for me even. I would like to keep doing streams, even when it's really not worth it for Theo personally like that. But I would just burn out and not have the money, and yeah, then I won't be able to do anything for anyone. That's always, you know, I made that video about the king, another king video from earlier, the king's mindset. The king has to put himself first. Like, he does put the people first, but he has to be willing to put himself first to the degree he can see that it's necessary for him to build himself up first, give to himself first, to have more to give to others. Yeah, you see, these points just come to me. It's like, you just get stuck on something. Yeah, Mo for Gains, good evening, brother, good evening. Mo for Gains is a good guy. Musical Stab Artist is telling everyone of all the different races, even the Simpsons race, to do thumbs up. Or let's see, I missed something there. LCD9 says, wish I could watch this entire stream. Well, you'll be able to later, man. Also another great guy. Keeps giving really good, positive energy in my comments. Pat Gaming Saint Pastel. Yeah, thanks for the answer, Theo. It was regarding a breaking apart of me and a close friend of mine. What's done is done, and I don't think we can get back together. It just sucks to lose a friend. Well, I'll tell you, man. Tell me more about that. What happened? Do you feel like this person was in the wrong, or were you in the wrong, or both? Because, you know, what you're supposed to do about that, sometimes it depends on where you're at. Sometimes the kingly, the right thing to do, the bigger person thing to do is to know that, no, it was the other person and I have to step away for the good of the both of us. I have to protect myself. I have to give them the chance to come back. But sometimes it's also like you have to be the bigger person. It's like, well, they did the biggest thing, but I think they want to get along in the end, right? So I'll just be the bigger person and I reach out to them, you see? But of course, if you had to abandon, then everything that I said just goes. But with that, what you just told me, it's like, well, it could be part of this, that you're supposed to go to this person. Be humble enough to do that, and they might just be humble enough to appreciate that and treat you differently. You know, it's happened to me so many times, just like I get like these haters, like in real life too. I'm gonna tell you about a real life hater later, since people like that. Another one today. Always another one. No, but I get mostly people are really great to me, but also this kind of thing. That when I am the bigger person, when someone that is a little bitch in one way or another, or has been in the past, And I come to them to tell them kind of like, hey, I forgive you for being a complete loser to me back in the day. They're like, oh, thank you. It's been wearing heavy on my heart. I've been thinking about reaching out for a long time, but I didn't find it in me to do it. Not everyone reacts like that, but what I'm saying is that sometimes when you are the bigger person, people know what they did wrong. They know what they did wrong, and they know that they should be the one first to speak, so they appreciate that you help them get there. Yeah, I'm gonna look more at the chat. Please like more, chat more, super chat more, definitely. Am I gonna have to, like, as part of my parenting, coaching here, like do little tricks like, okay, I'm not gonna say another word until someone gives a super chat. I'm not doing that bit now, but maybe I'll try it. We'll see. La 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 la. Hey bro. LCD9 says jobs are for non-gamers. Stay true to yourself. You know, it's funny because my job is so much like a video game, I feel like. You know, I literally work with building individuals, starting with myself. I literally view it as there's a level system. I think that instead of binary level 1 to 99, like it was in Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction back in the day, it's actually 1 to 100%, but it's a logarithmic curve, so you never get to 100. This goes for the entire universe, by the way, infinity, right? Infinity can never be 100%. It's like 99.9999999, it goes on, it's keep expanding. But yeah, I've reached beyond level 99 now. That's what I feel very strongly. Like, it's based off of logic too. I asked my dad, like from a discussion with my dad, he gave, what now, how was it? What did he give? I just know that based off what he said, he gave his dad 95 and he gave me 96. And I gave him 99, that's it. And so what I figured out from all of this is that it's probably true that you are 96 and I'm 99. Yeah, but of course not just the level, just the skills. You see how you can learn, improve your character. Understand, I always try to make gamers understand. It's like, why would you play a fucking boring ass pretend game on a screen? It's like, you know, I have fond memories of video games. I wish for some downtime for myself that's something I could get into, but I just get bored so quickly. It ends up feeling like a chore. Like really, I have to run back and forth between, like, again, I collected this item and I have got to go all the way back there. For what? What's the reward? I'm supposed to be happy that my fake character on the screen is like, oh, mission completed. And here I am, what do I get? I just wasted my time. Why would I play a fake game on a screen when I can be here in the real game? The main quest. Right? Let's see. Yeah, Mystical Stab Artist asked, did Mika come back? No, I banned him. You know, I tried so hard yesterday to not ban him. I'm always trying to show that to these people. You know that it's good. You know that it's good that you show them. Because, you know, all these people that hold on, they are haters, but people always have hate-love relationships with people. That's what I realized. The haters are the biggest fans, in a sense. You could say it like this, the people not hating, like you guys here, you're more like the truest fans. So I do appreciate you more. But I mean, they are the biggest fans. They have the biggest emotions about it. They are so jealous. They are so jealous, filled with envy, and they're in denial of this. So they disguise their love as you, for you, as hate, you know. Gotta, this guy is too fucking great. I love him too much. It like hurts. It's like hurts. I gotta make him wrong somehow. Gotta attack. Gotta feel better somehow. No, because I've noticed it. You know, let me talk about a few. You know Pete, that everyone knows. I made a big example of. It might very well be here in the background, just knowing that he'll be banned now if he speaks. But you know, I gave him so much patience. I gave him his own dedicated stream. I followed up, did a testosterone test exactly the way we agreed, made videos about it. And then I said, now I'm done with you. Unless you admit like that you were wrong, apologize. Send me the money you promised. I don't care for the money. It's more about you staying true to your word. You see that, guys? I want support from you, but I don't want from a hater money like that. It's like, no, I just want you to be a man of your word. Of course, he didn't do that. He changed the goalpost afterwards, and I did abandon him, just like I said I would. And I saw him. I saw that he had. I've seen these things for facing all these little demons throughout this year. That he told people in a comment section about, fake natty. Oh, we don't believe your online father is natural. Deal with it. It's like, Pete, you were the only one of anyone here talking about the father. So I realize now that's how you view me, like a father figure. And I could see when I showed that after my great patience and love for everything I did for him, I did leave. I did leave because I know that you're, like I say, I don't want to tell any human being that you're a lost cause, but you're a lost cause to me now, Pete. You have to go on, find the truth for yourself now. I let him stay around with his pitiful comments, and then it was in one particular video. He was sticking around it all day, leaving more comments, trying to be as provocative as he can, chiming in other people's comment threads. He's desperate for my attention, but at that point I was just like, well, I had to answer and be like, well, Pete, I see that you're throwing tantrums all over the place now that you notice that daddy actually left, but that's not going to change. And I would let you be around here, but if you want to keep being able to contribute to the discussion, you gotta stop being off topic. All the lies about fake natty and just attacks on Theo. It's like, no, I cannot keep you around, even though it doesn't really hurt me anymore. At this point, I literally see you as a baby, pretty much. But you're a baby with like big fangs. You're a baby with a huge ass. You shit all over the place, It's not nice. It's not nice for anyone. So you behave yourself or I ban you. He immediately deleted that comment, and he's never commented since. You see what I mean? The people, the so-called haters, they are desperate. They are desperate for my love and attention. So I always give them so much rope. I give them so much rope. But instead of taking, I pull them here. They hang themselves. I was so patient with that guy yesterday. Angry. Yeah, I let my anger come out. But I was completely in control and I was patient. I saw exactly what was happening. How many warnings did I give him before I banned him? I don't know, very many. Yeah, the thing is, he has regrets now, for sure. You know what you want to, I'm going to move on to this. I'm going to tell you about the real life hater later, but I'm going to take a little stop from this. But I want to say that, that's the point. If you can be like, oh, you're too patient, should kick him immediately. Well, now, when all his little feelings calm down, he's going to realize that, hey, how many times did that guy tell me, you can apologize or you can just stop talking, everything will be fine. I couldn't keep my big woman mouth shut. Even though I'm a man, wow, I need to repent. Like the stream, send a super chat. Come on, guys, please, honestly. Don't make me beg. Don't make me do stuff like I had to do with Mika. Listen, please. More for gains. Currently writing a program for a friend, and I'm training her. She is the first person I'm training online. Doing it for free, just to help and to practice, because I want to do this as a job. Any tips? I'll just see if you said anything more about that. No, you didn't. Okay, so what I would warn you about is that friends usually cannot appreciate the help you're giving them. She will make you, this is a prediction. I don't know how close you are. This is just a very general truth that's often true, but it wouldn't have to be true for every single case. So you see what I mean? But with what you gave me there, she may be all excited now. She may even do what you tell her to do, but she has nothing invested, She can just get a little cold or get a little sad and just decide, I'm just not do the plan now. I'll just not eat or train the way I should. I'll just not answer Mo for Gains messages now because I feel shame about failing him. I wasted his time. I'm a failure. And I let my wounds bleed on this other person. Guess how I know this? Because it's happened to me many times. I've seen it happen to other people. I invested in, it wasn't a huge thing, but I remember vividly how I learned the lesson. I actually had just helped one girl get through her first dry fast, like for free. Because it is a pretty good idea to do coaching or training for free first, before you feel like fit to do it professionally full on. But there can be an idea to actually let them pay something, like do a very friendly price. That's what I kind of started doing after this, that it was nowhere near my current prices. But just so I know that I will always not leave completely with nothing. And this little thing, sometimes it is enough to make people more accountable. No, but so right after helping this girl through a dry fast, and she did really well, she was great. There was this one guy that was an early follower of mine that chatted a lot, and he wanted my help. And I was like, okay, I have like a prodigy. I have someone to train myself as a trainer with. Spent all this time. I was not as efficient back in the day of making programs and diet plans, and I had to think about it a lot more. Over-explained. It was new. I didn't know what the most important stuff was. Right, I spent a lot of time on this, is the point, and he starts a bit, then suddenly just ghosts me completely. And this is some American, right? And I just realized that, hey, wow, okay, people can really be fucking assholes like that. Me personally, I would at least have said that, like, do you know what? I am sorry for wasting your time, but I'm clearly not ready for this. I'm really sorry I made you do the program. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you feel like I should compensate you somehow. Even back then, that's how I would have done it. So, when you are a good person, a real, true person, helpful person that takes the other person into account, you will continuously be surprised at, like, oh, here's another a person that was completely selfish. Yeah. So you see what I mean? Be cautious, even if it's a friend. Friends often can't take your help. They're the worst at taking your help. It's almost like, someone that, oh, can I get the friendly price? Since I know it's like, especially when you ask it, like, I kind of almost want to double the price for you, so you actually value my service here. I'll end this point on this note. It actually takes for a really great person to be able to appreciate getting something at a lower value. And like still do the same. I've done that in some circumstances. Like realizing that, hey, I'm really lucky that I happen to get access to this person or service, like for free or at a very low price. I gotta be grateful and do the most of this. But most people just cannot. It's a funny thing. Some people, when it comes to coaching, it's different. For most of my guys, I'm like really there and send them feedback, and we have our calls and stuff. But for some people, it's almost like I almost just have to exist for them to pay and feel like, you're the one watching me now. That's how big the accountability and paying part is. That's what people don't realize. That's why, even if you have all the information and you find yourself unable to do it, that's what you get from a coach many times. Not always incredible new information. You get to pay to value this work on yourself more than you've been able to. And you can feel like this other person, is watching you, the accountability. More shame. Where were we? Yeah, Mystical Sam artist. Theo, buy a piece of land. Clear a field for crops. You will collect lots of rocks in the process. Throw them in a big pile. When you have enough, you can build a stone house. Do it all by hand. That will give you plenty of exercise, but you will be doing something constructive at the same time, instead of lifting man-made weights in a man-made gym. Funny, man. What's the huge difference there? I'm not understanding it, man. It's like, already know I'm a fan of rock lifting, not as a standard per se, but as something I think is good to do. But what's wrong with man-made weights in a gym? I haven't really done much of that. I do almost only calisthenics now in the summer. No, for the last time, at least, the last couple of weeks. It's like I've gone in the gym to do some squats. That's it, pretty much, with a barbell. Because it's kind of hard to train the legs heavy without any weights. What is it? Like, I mean, because I'm not knowing to what degree you're serious with that. It's like, I know you don't completely not mean it, but I know you also kind of probably, just fucking explain what you mean, man. Like the stream if you haven't, guys. Send a super chat. See you, super chat. Send a super chat. believe more for gains. I believe if you are at peace with yourself, you need to put yourself first, and you would be able to realize when it is healthy to put yourself first and when it's not. Yeah, man, completely. But none of us are God, and I just know that the pattern of Theodore has always been. I've been clearly become much better. Like you cannot build yourself into the shape in many ways that I am without putting yourself first in many regards. But I'm just saying it's like a root pattern of being Theodore that always give a little bit too much away. Just a little bit more. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I can both at times. Like right now, I'm like, well, you know, clearly the guys are not, as a collective, are not really fully appreciating what they get from me here. Not all of you, but as a collective, that is my experience. Sometimes, come on. Sometimes I know that it's become a bit more of an entitlement feeling. I deserve more. They should see that I deserve more. Now it's very grounded that it's just a fact. I deserve so much more than I get. Yeah, but I don't really feel bad about it. I'm just gonna like keep going for that. But what I want to come to is that at times I felt bad about that. It's like, why do I always end up like abandoning myself more than others in the end? But when I ask myself, would you like it to be the other way around? That you were more often too selfish rather than selfless. I know that in line with my values. Like, nope, I would preach the king thing. Put yourself first in the end. No, you know, be the bigger person first. But I'd rather be the person that accidentally hurts myself instead of someone else. 100%. Yep, that's the truth. And Mystical Stab Artist continued with his stones there. See, I give you positive advice and engage in a constructive way. If you did that, you'd have a free house. Lifting man-made weights in a man-made gym, you only waste your time, vitality, and life. But you know, I agree that you give me like positive engagement. Like I find your engagement really funny, and I know that you vibe with me, even if I'm not sure when you're trolling all the time, like how much to which degree. I can sense from you that you know you're on my team. We're bros, so I do like you. About the other thing though, you're not wasting. Oh, thanks, Widge88. 10 euros and just a little heart. You see, it's always the people that send support. They really always do it just to send support, nothing more than a heart. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for helping prove my case here. I do really appreciate it. You know that, right? Like all of you, whatever you contribute with, but it's just the case. Someone that sends a super chat, they are literally sending more love. You understand? So appreciate you, bro. I make a point, since I call it money love, it depends on the intention, okay? If someone thinks they can buy my love with money, now it's not love. Now it's from fear, you know? It's from the ego now. But if it's actually like, no, I think he's right. He's helped me. I want to send a super chat. Now it's from love. So appreciate you, bro. Yeah, you said Mystical Stab Artist. You know, it's a long name. I wish sometimes, when there's someone that's repeatedly here, I wish I had it, like, what should I call you? Stab Artist? Mystic? Well, you say, lifting man-made weights in a man-made gym, you only waste your time, vitality, and life. It's like, you know, you see how that's the biggest lie ever, right? Like, I'm 0% offended because the gym has been great for me. Wasting vitality and life. It's like the gym, along with other things, has made me the most vital, vigorous vessel of God that I know. You know, how could it be true what you're saying when the gym has been such a big part of it? Are you saying that you know, if I'd replace the gym, go back on the timeline, change everything out for rocks, I would be better off now? How could I be better off than now? I'm in such a great place, right here in the present moment. Perfectly aligned. Thanks again for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Pat Gaming Ape Style. From my point of view, I suppose I shared 80% of the blame. I was angry, said some stuff, and it made them afraid. I apologized to them sincerely later. They forgave me, but we definitely aren't going to be the same. You say they, and you talk about them being afraid. Is this a woman that you describe as a friend, and you guys are not really friends at all? You are, you know, you're friends pretending to be friends, but you're actually in love, have some kind of situationship going. Is that what it is? It mustn't be, but that's sort of the sense I get from your phrasing there. Someone's more? Mo for gains. Here's more love. €7. Appreciate you, bro. You've been very loving in your engagement overall. But that's the thing, it's always the people that kind of have nothing to prove that do it. Do you see what I mean? No, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I hope you had a great time in Italy, if you're back now. And let's see, Mystical Stab Artist. Ha 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 ha. Micah is listening hopelessly from the outer waste. Yep. Looking back from the exile and being like, I could be there. My father figure Theo with all the guys. And just be in the warmth. I had to let my big woman mouth run the show for me again. I have to forgive my mother. Clearly. Because I get emotional like a woman otherwise when I see Giga Chad own me on the screen. Mo Forgins. Was Pete maybe Jason Blowhole in disguise? I don't think so. I saw Jason Blowhole talk about me. Like, he didn't talk about me. He mentioned my name because someone brought him up to me, and it was sent to me afterwards. And I'm just like, please, bro, please engage with me. Do you know that I've planned? Thanks for the reminder. Because I'm gonna shoot up, guys, I have some exciting stuff that I am a great secret keeper when it comes to, like, if someone tells me something in confidence, I will keep it. I will take it to my grave, okay? But I've always been like stuff that I'm excited about coming forward. I'm like, I almost have to tell you, but I'm gonna contain myself. I'll just say that I will reboot the podcast. Definitely have some interesting guests, like, already in the mix, but I've always thought that I should invite Jason Blowhole, and I'd give him. I'd never do that. It's one thing that I engage with haters, but this guy that I really have nothing to do with, because this is something I hate. It's one thing to respond to haters, but another thing to just go looking for so-called lolcows and attack them and tell yourself you're not a disgusting bully yourself, Then there is the middle ground. If you sort of follow this lolcow person from afar, checking in and every now and then to just see what stupid stuff this person is up to, that's some sort of middle ground. I do a little bit of that, to be honest, but I engage way too much in following people just for the sake of feeling better than them, honestly. It's so pathetic. Point being is that I would invite Jason Blowhole on my show, and I would be clear, because, I've had natural hypertrophy on and stuff. I'd be clear that, hey man, you can leave at any point. My idea here is I want you to feel comfortable. I might ask you some questions if something seems like, if I'm not quite understanding something or want to make sure something, but I'll be in good faith as much as possible. Like, I'm not here to own or argue or disprove or, like, get some kind of gotcha. Quite the opposite. I want to give you a voice, and I would guide you through that. And, gentle disagreement I could have. It's not like I'm going to kiss your ass, but I'm just saying that's the format I want of my podcast, no matter who the guest is. So I think that will be pretty interesting with a guy like him. Because, you can do a thing like that without it's like, oh, and I love Jason Blaha. That's not the point, Just like, no, I would love to hear what he says when he's not always defending himself against, he's in that situation. It's completely his fault that he's in the situation he is. But that's just the situation he is in now. And if it would be really interesting to hear this guy when if he's more freely to speak. Maybe we'll get some truth out of him for once. About some things, at least. He's clearly going to lie like he always does. It's really tough. I'm going to move on from Jason Blowhole. But please guys. Send more super chats. Would appreciate it. But, man, when you lied so much, you feel you have to keep lying to, you're in your web of lies. And it's like no way out. Even if you start telling the truth, even if you kind of try to, it's like, why would anyone believe you now? What can you do? Let's see. No, this Mika person is there with an angry face. Is someone just pretending? Is my ban just temporary from one chat? Well, I guess you're lucky then, Mika. If you behave yourself, you can be around. You see, everyone thinks it's funny that you showed up. That's the thing. Don't... See, this is one thing I'll tell you. If I feel like pushed towards like, oh, come on, go get him now, Theo. He's here again. I'm like, never. Absolutely not. Now I don't want to do it. See, that's what a king does. It's helpful. Helpful, like to help, would respond positively to many gentle requests, but being pushed around to do things like for entertainment, like a clown, then I honestly, it's a different thing. It's one thing when something is ongoing, someone came to me, I talk back, but that I now would engage in something out of nowhere, no. Now that would make me a bully, right? No, I don't want that. Like to stream, guys. I saw you at the end. I mean, I had lots of more, so I'll go back to that. He says, I crossed the line, bro. What did you do wrong? That's a poor attempt at an apology, man. Are we really gonna have to go through this again? Apologize for real. Miguel Flores says, Theodore. That's me. More for gains. I realized that too in real life training, people ask me for help in the gym. I explain and try to help for free. I see them the next week doing something completely opposite, lol. Yeah, man. So clearly now I see, you follow me. I see what you want to do. You're gonna become some kind of teacher yourself, So that's something to learn. Us guys that really want to help, we can be like, oh, exciting. A person asked me about the thing I know, But we have to, because we can like talking about the thing, even if we can like our feeling in the moment, and then maybe when you see the person, like they're not even doing it. But you see what I mean? Don't let your like of talking about the stuff you know about make you be inefficient. Even as you could be like, well, if I don't mind, I'm not saying you that you're implying this now. Just a general you. If a person could be like, well, if I don't mind. Giving people advice because I like talking about it, and they don't do. Why should I stop? Well, of course, that's always up to you. But if you want to be a true, real, kingly coach or trainer, you will not just do what you like. You will do what's most productive, and that is identify ask holes as fast as possible. Help them by not answering their questions. Yeah. Always give the benefit of the doubt. The first time someone asks you something, be helpful. But if you see that hey, they are not implementing it, it's like, okay, they burnt their shot, and you can even say that if they ask it the next time. It's like, oh, well, how about this? You're like, well, I saw you go completely against the last advice I gave you, so I don't really feel like wasting my precious energy and time on you. You can put it in a nicer way if the situation calls for it, but that should be the point. Some people will learn from this, and they will actually, even come back to, because they want to keep asking you stuff, they're gonna come back and be like, hey, I tried it, and you're right, that worked well. I've gotten free help from, honestly, men that I would view as, I don't like to say above me, but yeah, more, if anything, yeah, more successful if I try to do some kind of objective comparison. There's a couple of people, at least a couple of people, that because I'm respectful in my approach and because I always come back and show that I implemented the advice I got, they keep, because the great teacher we never do what we do for money. We just know that money is a necessary component of the thing. for both for the teacher to be able to make a living, but for the person paying. Most people cannot appreciate what you're giving them if they don't pay. You see these assholes, right? So the true teacher, if someone doesn't take much of the time and energy, shows respect and shows that they actually use the value that they get, you know, we're happy to give it. I've been meaning to do a video about that, how I first approached the guy in a disrespectful way. It wasn't really about asking for advice and not following it. It's more like I'm pushing something on him. Like, see this thing that I got, what do you think? And he's like, what would I think about what? And I'm like, well, this like thing, this post I made on Instagram, like, well, what do you think about it? And I don't remember the exact exchange, but I remember I felt a little bit like run over, a little bit like disciplined. But I also know that this is a great man with a huge ego like myself. And then when it sunk in for a while and I have similar experiences myself, I'm like, that's true. I completely understand how he feels now. Like, I could just come dropping something. He doesn't really know of me. I know of him. I come dropping something on his table and like, what do you think? It's like, well, think about what? I didn't ask for this big thing. You're not telling me directly. You want me to just go looking into this entire thing. Completely get it now. And since then, I just chose to interact with him differently. And now, I see he's just like me. He is just like me. Helpful teacher in the end, that when he was treated with respect, and I showed that I implemented his advice, I've gotten tons of free help from this guy. This is all great value, guys. This is all great value. Someone should definitely send a super chat now. Let's go back. Mika says, sorry isn't emotion, some lines need to be crossed. Well, if you don't apologize in your next chat message, I'm gonna kick you again, okay? Yeah, Zen, wearing contact lenses, yes, I do most of the time. Then I will feel like having glasses for a while. Sometimes I even sync that. Like now, the video ideas come to me so naturally. So I have the glasses whenever I have them on a video. But sometimes I do that, you know. Like, I know that it's good if I look a little more nerdy. Make myself more of a target with the glasses in this video. Or it can also be like in a less like, oh, I'm gonna troll, provoke in that way. It can also be like, this is more of a, you know, I don't want to come off as a just jock in this video. It's a funny word. I've never identified with it. But I understand, I notice when I've been around people that are so disconnected from gym and training, it's very interesting stereotypes you notice that they have. But so sometimes I put the glasses on just to be like, oh, some people need this silly avatar of the glasses to be able to take me more serious than this. And it's science-based. Science-based. Take the glasses on. No for gains. I feel the same way about you as natural hypertrophy. As an old follower of NH, none of appreciated his content till he's gone. I rarely post. None of appreciated his content till he is gone. I rarely post. That's a strange sentence, especially since you usually write coherent sentences. I guess you're saying that none appreciated his content like for real until he went away. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but that's kind of, you know, hypertrophy even. I mean, maybe it's the same thing for him. You know, when you do give a lot for free, you're doing it like a woman. If you're like, see how much I do for you, appreciate me. Like, if that's the actual sentiment, like I can, like a man, like kind of actually just say it. Like, guys, don't you think sometimes that you should give more back? Don't you think that would be right? I'm asking, you know, don't you actually think that? I think so, but I'm not going to push it. I'm not feeling entitled to it. I am very grateful to be in the position I'm in. But, of course, you cannot, when you give a lot of stuff for free, if you don't feel like you get what you deserve back, or people don't realize what they should do, you can either accept things as they are, or adjust, which I will. I've done it every time with the streams. There's always come a time when it's like, nope, it's not worth it anymore. I wish it was, because I like it. but I have to draw a boundary, right? So I mean, just saying that in natural hypertrophy's case, it's a little different though, because he really went all in on the fact that I'll never ask for money. I'll never do that, you know. Really making himself known as the guy that's just doing it for free, for the sake of helping. And it is for the sake of helping, even if some people you cannot even help as much if you don't make them pay. So I always thought that was a bit stupid. Like, the overall sentiment I agree with, but honestly, it's like, I end up feeling almost like it's a disguise for, like, I feel uncomfortable with asking people for money. Yeah, now I miss NH. I've never followed his content super closely, but I've known of him for a long time, and I like him. I had a great time when we recorded our podcast. I just kind of wished there's no point in, like, it went well. But at the time, I wished I was in a, like, better place. But that was kind of the thing also. Just because I wasn't in a great place, it, like, felt really good that it went so well. To be in the presence of this. Like, I'll say this before I move on from NH, but I definitely felt, I'm very intuitive. I definitely felt a very, like, strong, warm, masculine presence that I had in front of me. That listens too. Just like me, can talk a lot, but definitely listens to what I say. Yeah, great guy. It's funny, I'm so emotional, and not emotional these days, but it's like, yeah, I felt some love for NH here. Like, I miss him. Should send him a message. Yeah. Let's see now. Miyahi. I went to Italy once too, and I thought it was so beautiful. Well, I literally broke my leg on the first day of being there because I tried to kick a ball. And then I saw an Italian ambulance from inside. Yeah. Interesting. I've never been in an ambulance. Honestly, I've been very lucky with, I've had injuries from training, but like with, like, breaking a leg and stuff like that, I've had very little of that kind of thing happen. All those kinds of injuries have never been too major. Could that be? There's always balance in this universe. I got the big emotional wounds, scars, not so many physical ones. It's not entirely true with the training, but from the outside like that. Like, I've had my injuries, but I never broke a bone, ever. It's interesting. I look for patterns in everything, guys, and you just find so much. Like, nothing, I'll say this, nothing here happens by coincidence. Coincidence doesn't exist. It looks like it more the more disconnected from the truth you are, but the closer you live aligned with the truth, the more you see, like, no, everything happens for a reason. I went on this walk with my uncle today, and they were building something, so all the ways we wanted to go, we just couldn't. And my uncle is kind of annoyed. I'm like, well, there is probably a perfect reason for this. And the thing is, I cannot say exactly what it was, but we had a great walk. We got to where we wanted to be, and we got a lot of great things said. And I could tell that my uncle kind of can't wait for the next time we do it. So sometimes you don't even see the exact reason, like, oh, what did it happen exactly? It clearly was a good part of our experience that we couldn't go through the ways that we were supposed to. And many times it's happened to me. If I'm late for a client, I see before and I text, I gotta be late. So often turns out, like, yeah, it worked out perfectly. Then I could do this thing before. Divine timing. In line with the divine, you get more than one sign. Hey, Mika, I'm kicking you now. You're being a little bitch. You're not here to help me. It's like, I'm so sad to see you fail so miserably. It's like, what can I do? How can I make this guy act right? Not for me. Okay, I just happen to be the one that you're acting wrong towards. Of course, I personally would prefer that you respect me as well, but it's like, I'm here to teach. You're not listening at all, still thinking that you are gonna teach me something about my woman and women in general, when you're clearly in pain and jealous of me, that you have to keep pushing this shit on me. I never asked you to watch my video. I never asked for input. In fact, I directly asked for the opposite. Here you are, showing again that you don't understand anything. What do you need, bro? What do you need to wake up? Genuinely. Like I'm delaying looking more at the chat now. It's like I don't want to kick you. Do you understand? I would prefer. Would really. I got a message from someone who got distracted. I would really prefer to see you just fucking own it. Okay, Theo. I'm not completely getting all of this. But clearly, it's your channel. You make the rules. I disrespected them. I'm sorry. I'll shut my big woman mouth now. Can you do that? If I see a message now where you keep doing the same thing, I will ban you now. Kick you. Pat, and I've been to Italy, by the way, too. It's been a while. Rimini with my choir the last time. That was in 2016 or 17, perhaps. We competed in a classical competition and won. Pat Gaming Ape Style says, it was a girl, but was like a sister to me. We won't have that bond again, I guess. I just want to move on from this. I mean, I sense it was just the way you kind of disguised that it was a girl that made me feel like maybe you feel differently. Why wouldn't you just say like, yeah, well, it's a friend and she's a girl? Otherwise, you know, they got scared. You see how this is how I like kind of evaluate stuff. I'm not sensing like dishonesty from you, like that you're lying completely. But I'm also sensing like there's something. It's like I kind of believe you when it's like a sister. Can it be that it's been like that and you started noticing something different? And maybe that's why there was some kind of friction altogether. You know what, man? I don't even know if it's like your sister or a girl that you have a hard time admitting to yourself that you've caught feelings for. Either is fine. But I have a feeling, I have a sense, an uncommon sense, if you will, that it's gonna work out and you guys are gonna be closer than ever, no matter what shape that takes. But it's gonna take for you, because you're a man, no matter if she's your sister or girlfriend, you're a man. So it's gonna take for you to do the right thing first. And it's up to you if the right thing is more distance, letting her come around, or for you to reach out and say something. But I believe in you guys' future together. It's like, do you know, these things, when I say these things, guys, I want you to take them as not an absolute, like complete, like I know that this is the case. But the thing is, guys, what you learn when you do what I do is sort of to predict part of the future, okay? Because you've seen the pattern, like just think training, I can predict. People say that, oh, I hope I get that kind of result. I'm like, well, you don't have to hope. If you do it, I know that it will happen. If you do what I told you, I know that it will happen. It's like there's no ands or ifs or buts. It is going to happen. That's a guarantee. I cannot tell you everything that's going to happen to you in your life, you know. But it's like when you see enough of the patterns, you can often get a sense, and it's often right. It's like even this girl that I'm forced to hear unsolicited advice from someone about now, I sensed the day before I last talked to her, like, yeah, probably tomorrow or the day after. We haven't spoken in 2 months. Probably today or tomorrow, she'll message me. Lo and behold, next morning. Mystical Stab Artist. This is an interesting part of you, that you erase some messages. It's curious. There's something you can regret revealing. You that are a little rock that can't be triggered. No emotions, all masculine, right? Still a need to erase some comments or chats. Like, of course, it's not a major thing. It's just like, it's like almost the only thing that goes against the rest of your character from what you've displayed here. Just something to note. Spoonman. Coming out of 3 years of long COVID. Oh, to start my journey towards the best shape of my life. Love your encouraging content and wholesome message, brother. Well, I appreciate that, and I love you too, man. Spoon man. You know what? I had a client that I also mean to check in with sometimes. You know, I really should. He had long COVID, but he also like really expressed like love and appreciation for me. And things just didn't go too well for him. That was like outside of our coaching. Like he had long COVID. He had a quite difficult situation, family and friends. He, you know, felt bad and wanted to take distance at times. But in the end, I feel like, you know, that's what you do as a king. You know, you don't feel like, oh, I did wrong. It's like, no, I did nothing wrong, honestly. I tried very hard. Still feel like I should have done more. Like he showed a lot of, he invested in me for quite a bit at an earlier stage in my journey. And you know, you should really, people, that's not just about being a coach or a content creator. People that believed in you early, you should remember those. And so Chris, if you're still watching, which I have no idea, but I love you, man. I'll reach out to you sometime soon when I get called to do so directly. But you see, guys, I get downloads from this stream. Yeah, there's like 3 different things. I got them from the stream. I'm like, I gotta keep that in mind. Keep in mind. And then I will get a sense when it's time to act on it. No, but good to see you here, Spoon Man. And I'm glad you feel love for the message here. And I wish you well to get into the best shape of your life. Oh wow, my a client slash friend, older guy, texts me if I want eggs, good eggs. I have to answer him now because he might be in the place now. That's a funny message I managed to do there. Okay, guys, what time do we have? Okay, I think theoretically today I could go for max like an hour more. Probably end up being less today, but I could. Like the stream if you have it, guys. Send a super chat. We're all bro Theo. I want to come up with a new way to title myself every time. I realize it now. I can see so much what other people I followed have been doing. It's like, yeah, when you've been used to being the center of attention, play certain things up, banter and joke with people, it's like, at a point you just lean into it completely. It's funny, guys. Like I mean, like it's actual fun. It's lots of fun. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for being here, for me to have this experience with you. Wouldn't have been able to without you. Sorry, I'm catching up, this stab artist says. Mo for gains. Yeah, I meant none of us appreciated natural hypertrophy, but I forgot the us. Lol. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. And that, honestly, while I also say now that, hey, you shouldn't call, and not you, Mo for gains again, just the general you, shouldn't call him a grifter. I understand why it kind of, there's some dissonance that he went so hard on, like, oh, never make money on this, and now he does make money on it. But it's like, well, he made a mistake. I thought so from the beginning. There was a mistake to go to take such a hard stance on that. So, I mean, what I'm saying is like, okay, he's corrected it now, but he kind of got what he asked for. That's part of the king's mission. Even if he feels like, oh, I shouldn't need too much for myself, whether that's money or validation, you see how it's not helpful to people to not let them appreciate you, not let them afraid of losing you, or not feeling like I have to actually give something to get here. You so often have to teach people that. You have to know your worth, and you have to make it be known to others. It's a really nice sun over there, guys. It's gonna go away soon. I'll show you. It's not so good with the camera, you know, the stream camera, can I know? You see, it's all bright. Like, guys, if you haven't, super chats, all that stuff, guys. Um, oops. Mystical stab artist, it's about the rocks again. Building a house out of rocks. Think about it this way. What would your great-grandfather say about it? Work on a farm and construction versus toiling for in a gym. Our ancestors would see modern gyms and laugh. I mean, I think they would be super excited. Like, man, you guys have great stuff to train with. It's all symmetrical. We have these crappy rocks. You know, they're great, but, you know, it's a little bit uneven sometimes. That's actually really awesome to get to train with perfectly symmetrical objects. You know, our ancestors would definitely laugh when they see, like most people in the gym, that sit skinny fat on a machine between sets with their phone like this. That's what they would laugh at, not the gyms in and of itself, bro. Like, we're supposed to move society forward. It's just that many times we don't think about what is best for humankind. We think what is best for just productivity, create, consume. The big machine. But all new inventions aren't of your father the devil. So funny to be your father the devil. As anyone you speak to is of their father the devil. You see what I mean? Like my great-grandfather. Yeah. Really, what is this shit? He probably end up feeling like it's pretty cool, especially when he sees how jacked and stacked it made me. Right? You're losing on this one. I'm sorry, man. The rocks are great, but you cannot do it like, oh, it's better to do it. It doesn't make sense. Miyahi, I remember back in school, some dude said that my round glasses make me look so intelligent, but in reality, I'm some dumbass, and that shit made me. And the guy burst out laughing so hard because it was true. You don't seem like a dumbass to me, man. But it is funny when it's like, again, dissonance between like what's some kind of, you know, physical expression, what it's commonly associated with, and there's some kind of disconnect with that. Honestly, it's like I look so Swedish. I mean, maybe I am like a true, like, Viking. I still don't really, you know, I have no resentment towards the Viking thing. It's just like I've never identified with that. Like I've identified so little with the Swedish thing, other than like, well, I know I look like a typical Swedish person with my blonde hair and blue eyes, but I think it's funny that I'm like, I feel like I'm nothing like most Swedes. And the other thing would be that. You know, I look all jacked, but I'm definitely not like your typical gym bro. Yeah. I'm just like a Chad, you know. Jacked and stacked, blonde giga Chad. I'm glad you're mad. Not to make you sad, but I'm pretty rad. Talking guys. DMC5, thank you for your time, Natty King. Y'all keep grinding. Thank you for your time and for your nice comment there. You keep grinding as well. I hope to see you at another time. Mo for Gains, as a fan of NH, I do think the whole I won't accept any money is just an ego thing and a bit stupid. Yeah, man, that's what I'm telling you. Like, it's one thing. I understand it. It's like, I've never been on this channel like, oh, I don't want to make any money from it, but I felt like it's been a hard thing for me. I felt like dirty to ask about it. Like, either from a feeling like, I don't know if I actually deserve this, you know, because I can't see my worth, or, oh, I hope the guys don't misunderstand and think I'm just, you know, out for their money. Of course, neither of those were never true. But the first part almost ends up being true when you feel and act accordingly. When you don't know your worth, it's very hard. It's very difficult to get the outer manifestation of your actual worth. To be worthy, you have to decide that you are worthy. And it can feel uncomfortable at first, but you have to do that. And I've become so good now at, like, if people misunderstand now, I just feel like if someone would say, like, you're just trying to make money for your stupid online courses, they often say something that isn't quite accurate to what you do even, you know. I had that course that I gotta get my ass to working on. It's just not the time. That's why, you know, it's all there. It's not much more that needs to be done. But not the point. That people attack you like that. And of course, it's as always, it's something else they attack, really. I'm just so good at seeing that now that, hey, you know, I know that I'm not greedy. I know I deserve to make money at what I do. In fact, I know I deserve way more. Way more. And it's just a humble part of my quest that I often have to go long periods of knowing that I'm much better than what I get immediately before I get that. It's like I always have to show patience first. Yeah. Like with the fucking YouTube channel, 1,000 per year for 5 years. Then have one video go viral, quadruple it in a few months. Mia, it became such a wholesome moment for me, even good memory, lol. About the glasses, yeah. Mr. Savard is, okay, well, you're talking to that person. That actually shut up for once. So he couldn't bring himself to apologize. But he was scared. He had a different tone now. He was unsure. He was permanently banned. And of course, he can be effectively permanently banned if he keeps making an ass out of himself like this. And I'll just ban him as soon as I see him. Now he came to the point that, okay, I'll just shut up. Cannot apologize yet, like a woman, but I'll at least be silent, like a good boy. Yeah, he said, it was also funny because the school was like a pretty trashy ghetto school, and I was out there looking like a professor. Yeah, man. I have something to relate to that, you know, I've had the glasses. I mean, I still have them. I've looked way more like a hipster, is the point. And I had these sort of two circles. I came from the one school, started in a like nicer school. When I went to choir school, it was just like that. People, of course, people are always, there's some kind of bullying, but you know, no loud fighting, no very few physical fighting, stuff like that. And then I had my other circle stemming from my first school, when the gangs were kind of more crazy, you know, criminal, violent, you know, more out of hand like that. And in that circle, I felt like the hipster nerd, like the nice guy in the clique. And then in my other school, I was like the bad guy, comparatively, you know. Like I can hook us up with weed, you know, that kind of thing. It's just interesting. It was always dissonance with me between the two groups. I was never that bad. You know, I've been a shitty person in many ways in the past, but never like criminal. Like I steal stuff from people, like actively do stuff like that, or I'm violent. I will instigate a fight. No. But also in the other place, it was like I'm just not as left-wing and stupid as most of these people are. Never fit in. And it's like that when you're an uncommon individual. Most places aren't for you, in the grand scheme of things. Talk more now, guys. Getting quiet. Maybe Superchat, where we go. Sun is going down soon. Mo for Gains asks, are you a fan of high fiber diet? No, I think fiber is highly overrated. But again, I'm never black and white. It's actually like the carnivore guy, Sean Baker, says. He's of course very pro-carnivore. It's interesting. I've always had a good feel about the man. But I think some people, if they could just be a little less rigid in their stance, would be nice for me to see. But I think he's a positive force overall. But I have seen him say, he does nuance to a degree. It depends on the setting he's in. But, you know, he said it, like what my point is now, that for him, when he's eating his all-meat diet, he doesn't really need any fiber. But in a different context, then fiber might serve a purpose. I tend to think that, for instance, the official, like, whatever it's called, the nutrition department, Folkhälsomyndigheten, it's like the People's Health Authority here. they recommend like 30. Of course, we all know that they're never gonna give the best advice. Like, it's a sick world when you know that. Like, yeah, if they told it, like the people chosen by the people we elected, working for the government, if they said it, no, it can't be the best. But they recommend like generally like 30 to 50 grams of fiber per day. I tend to think that's too much. I tend to think like 20 to 30 grams is pretty much the sweet spot. If you follow something like the vertical diet, you eat mostly meats, eggs, fish, dairy, with some potatoes, rice, some vegetables, fruit. From some of these foods, you're already going to get some fiber. I like carrots. I get most of my fibers through carrots and berries, I guess. And I often end up there between 20 and 30, and I think that's when my digestion is doing the best. Talk more, guys. Come on. I'm going to leave. I'll have to abandon you, teach you a lesson if you don't talk more. Pat Gaming Apastal says, thank you for your words, Theo. Well, you're welcome, man. Do let me know in the future. I mean, it's probably not something you're going to have an update on anytime soon, but please, comment on the live stream or in some kind of direct message. Let me know how that all turns out. I do care about you guys a lot, Spoonman, thanks, brother. Take care of yourself. I have a heart for people that are trying to be exceptional under difficult circumstances. We should be lifting each other up. All the best. That's a great sentiment, man. I fully agree, of course. It's just a shame, but it's what it is. That's why everyone needs us. But it's a minority of people on this earth that have realized that we're actually all brothers and sisters on earth. And of course, some people, they have to be treated as the enemy because they started doing evil. So, I'm saying even as a good person, some kind of force against the evil could be necessary. It's still, like, in the end, that's helpful to that kind of person, what I'm saying. Like, not letting evil do its thing, like fighting it. But other than that, just that if people just realize that, hey, we're all in this together, it will just work out better for everyone. If I'm thinking more about other people, because if everyone starts thinking more about other people, that means that everyone around me thinks more about me now. And I just have to do, all people in the world think more about me. And I just have to think about really the people I have to deal with. Of course, that goes both ways too. You see what I'm saying? It's like so stupid. Ego. It is the battle. It is like the challenge of the human race, the human being experience. The division between selfish and selfless. And of course, you have to be selfish in certain regards, but you're supposed to be selfless as well. And many times, being selfless, selfishly works out for you better. That's the point. When you do it in the right way, when you don't people please, when you don't abandon yourself, when you don't let people use you, when you can be selfish, when it's necessary, and selfless to the right people at the right time. So appreciate you, man. Appreciate that positive message. And then let's see, Doug says, what I appreciate about you and your channel is that you don't sell out for views. It's become gross with everyone only farming for attention. Appreciate that, man. It's always been a balance. That it's one thing. That's the balance is that it's one thing to keep in mind. Like, this video is about this. What could make sense for a title that's not completely fake, but also keeps in mind like what could be picked up by the algorithm and what would make people click. But for instance, all the videos I've done this last week, like they perform much worse than most of my videos, but I know that they're important. I'm gonna put them out there. And I know from how things work now that me doing it that way and not selling out, like you say, at least for me, it never works. It never works even when I try to, if I try too hard with the technicalities, it never works anyway. It's kind of like the thing, people get triggered by me no matter what I do. I might as well just be super authentic, even be triggering to begin with. Just put the triggered people in, because they're gonna show up one way or another. Let's just get it over with. It's kind of the same, like, well, it doesn't even work to try to make people click or get picked up by the algorithm, so I better just stay true to what I do. And then it's just patience. Then something will happen. I'm pretty sure prediction. I don't know when or what, but something like the old video. It would be something random, not right when I put it out. Some video just randomly blow up, or someone will share me in the right place or something. It seems like that. It seems like it always happens like that for me. Slow and steady grind until some kind of big payoff. More for gains. You look Swedish, but from my experience, Swedish people are cold in general. You seem a very sunny person, if that makes sense. I appreciate that. That makes sense completely. You know, in a place, a shop that I frequent, there's this girl that works there. That she's really pretty. She's blonde. She has glasses, and she has this like really nice, warm energy. And so, me being me, I always come and like kind of flirt with her a little bit, like just in a nice way. You know, when she had been on vacation or something, I come there and she's like, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm great. How are you?" "Well, I'm better now. I've missed you," you know, that kind of thing. And I could sense that she's really nice, but I could sense that, she probably has a boyfriend. Because it's like she doesn't want to say something like, you know, to make me feel bad, like she's cold or not interested. But also she doesn't want to, she knows it would be like cheating, emotional cheating on a small level, to like engage in flirtiness with me. Because there is a difference between just being funny and nice and actually flirty. And ever since I sensed that, you know, I said something to make, without asking, to make her kind of confirm she has a boyfriend, just so I could like, okay, step off from that kind of talk. It was not really a point at all, but she's very similar to me in the case, when I'm saying in a sense. I would act like her. I would get uncomfortable if a woman started flirting with me that I kind of liked for the most part while I have a girl at home. But she called me. Here's the little sunbeam when I came. I'm like, that's interesting. What made you use that word? And went to the bottom with it a little bit, but clearly people told her she's a little sunbeam. Now the sun is going down. It's not the horizon, but it's behind the trees. I'll get dark here. No, but I know exactly what you mean, because I am a sunny person, and I had another sunny person call me a sunny person. Yeah, most Swedes, they are miserable, depressed, and just because everything materially is, you know, just functioning quite well here, it's easy for people to escape. But they're kind of lonely, introverted, afraid, conformist. Yeah. What more can I say? I made a video, was it yesterday? Like time, you know, when you're in flow state all the time, it feels like everything happened just now or like an eternity ago at the same time. Like, I did that yesterday, it feels like it was so long time ago. But I made a video in Swedish on the Swedish channel, pretty much lecturing Swedish men. What comfortable, childish little bitches they are. So far, I think I just have positive comments. It hasn't really gotten picked up. But man, I would like to throw... Oh, I have a trigger story related to that video. Another guy in my life getting triggered by it. But we'll look at the chat for a little bit. I'll keep that one. Miahi, I'm gonna leave too now. Take a walk before the sun goes down. Thank you for the stream again. Well, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you as always. See you later. Get to the other stuff. And he also said more. Yeah, it was that he just put that out there without us actually being friends. We're chilling together, and I had complete shit grades, and the school was so effed up. There I am, like a professor. And usually something like that would insult me, but in that moment it was so funny to me, and suddenly I could tell that he didn't mean it in an insulting or bullying way. It became such a wholesome moment for me, even good memory. Yeah, man. And you learned something there. That many times when people say something that you are inclined to have a certain reaction to, that might seem a certain way first, it's not always the case. You know, I notice that sometimes when someone, you know, comments, and it's like, it's not, I don't sense the hate, but it is like, you're not being serious right now, you know, but I'm not knowing, are you doing it in a playful way or in another way? So I would respond in a similar way, not take their answer too seriously, and respond something a bit sarcastic back. And then they will usually reveal if they were indeed a little bitch or just a funny person. Most of the time, honestly, they are a funny person. I can sense hate most of the time from the start. Not always. Sometimes they disguise it well, as I'm genuinely curious, you know. So you were genuinely pretending pretty well that you were curious, but you wanted to be a bitch again. Well, it's so beautiful with the sun. I have to kind of sun gaze as it goes down there. It's like yellow now. There was one guy who told me that he looked better than me. But I'm anonymous, you know, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it that it's true or something. And I said that, like, yeah, that seems 100% legit, of course. And then he revealed that, yeah, man, I was poking fun. I do look pretty good though. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm sure you do, bro. Because all the haters that are envious of my physique, they never have that good energy, and they never say that they look good. I mean, they might say that, but along with a bunch of negative crap. So Doug says, is everything in your life your fault? The longer I live, the more I tend to believe so. I don't like to think of it that way, because it's just not so productive. Like, think of the worst thing that can happen, like a little child or something, where they barely have agency. It's like their fault. I don't think it's productive for anyone to call it their fault. But everything is in your life is your responsibility, though. So that's the way to be, like, nice about it, you know. To tell someone, like, hey, I know you're in a difficult spot. You didn't deserve many of the things that happened to you. It's not your fault that this and this happened to you. But now we're here, and you know that now. Now it's all your responsibility, though. Who else is going to show up and deal with your problems, your emotional problems, your physical problems? You are the only one that's you. No one else can do that for you. So, not everything in your life is your fault, but everything is your responsibility. And look to take responsibility for as much as possible. You know what I've told some people lately? When they've been assholes, and I've not let them know soon enough, I've told them, you know what? I'm sorry that I let you hurt me by not calling you out on what a complete asshole you are. You see, I take responsibility that I let them go that far. It still makes them really wrong, but I don't really care. I cannot take responsibility for other people's wrongs. I can try to help, try to guide and inspire, but I can only take responsibility for my part. Then I would say it's actually dangerous. Oh, it's a little lag. No, but some people, including myself, sometimes we take too much responsibility. It's like when you judge yourself, when you are already taking more responsibility for other people than they do for you, and you kind of judge yourself for not being even more responsible, it's kind of like, well, I think it's great if you can have the responsibility focus that, you know, what can I do better? Even if I'm doing better than most, I'm still not thinking that, oh, I'm doing better than most. I'm like, what can I do better, though? But it's from a place of curiosity, wanting to grow. As soon as you're like the person that already does more than everyone else, and you're like, oh, I should be doing more, I'm terrible, it's not a good place to be in. Many guys I work with are like that. I always prefer the person that takes too much responsibility over too little, of course. Too much is better than too little most of the time, honestly, in my view. But that's because that's a pattern of Theo. Doing too much. Just too much. Because it's funny, you always find yourself in polarities. And I always, like, if I'm like, well, you gotta go for it. You gotta be a little risky. You gotta not care of the consequences sometimes. I often faced with a person that's like, even when the person isn't entirely fearful, it's like, yeah, but you also have to be cautious and you have to have strategy and that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but then in the end, you've got to be brave. You cannot come up with a perfect strategy, so you never take any risks. It's just not possible. Doug, people are miserable in Sweden because they are not standing up for themselves. It's easier hiding. Exactly, man. Mo for gains. Everything in your life is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to fix yourself. Exactly, man. Exactly. Now it's quite quiet here, but we have some guys. No, I'll be here for a little while. I guess when it's quiet, please, guys, send some more chats. Send a super chat if you appreciate these hours that I give you here with amazing advice and a pretty face. It's like, how much would people pay for this, really? certain people. Wow, I'm just giving away gold. But yeah, I'll tell the story about the other guy that got triggered. So I made a Swedish video, kind of lecturing Swedish men, and I'm so coherent. I'm so clear. I don't stumble on my words at all, which is like fine to do, but I'm present. I'm in a slow state. But it was earlier in the day, so I have more of this kind of voice going. Today I've been talking a lot, and you warm the voice up a bit more. Whereas I have this rough masculine voice, and I talk straight facts to Swedish men. And so I sent it to lots of men from different eras in my life that I just on some level think could be receptive, or almost the opposite. Some of them, it's like I wouldn't send them to anyone. It's either I think this guy is on board, or these people were in my life and I don't give a shit if they don't like this. In fact, it's even good for them to get it thrown in their face once. Never to keep pushing, but just put it out there, the video. So there was one group chat, I sent it in. And the one guy first, I told that story on the stream yesterday, he told me to seek help. And before I had the chance to ask for what? Because I'm always looking, is there anything I need help with? What should I seek help for, my man? He had already left and blocked me in the chat, so I laughed at that. And I said in the chat, oh, wow, he blocked me. I knew he pretty much hated me already, but didn't know he was going to be emotional like a woman like that. This is what I'm telling the chat, right? Then later that day, another guy in the chat responds, and he's all like, I've been debating if I should even engage with this or not. But, I feel like I have to, explain. Of course, you have to defend. Explain why. As if I don't understand. I understand completely. He's triggered little boy, mama's boy, clearly. He's acting like an emotional woman. Like, a man, if someone sends me a video I don't like, if I feel like they're pushing me to watch it, somehow it comes with like an argument, like, hey Theo, I know this would be just the thing for you. It's always annoying when someone just frankly not on your level with the thing they send it to you. I'm like, I can feel a sting of like, this is disrespect. You clearly don't see that you're not in a position to send this, but I won't have a strong thing about it. I'll say something short to kind of make my point like that, or I will probably most likely just ignore it. Because my strategy, I like to respond even to negative stuff and that, but there are many things I won't respond to, especially in a chat. But you see, if someone sends me something, doesn't say anything, and I choose to watch it, and I disagree with what's in the video, that's the worst thing that can happen here. I disagree with that. Maybe I'll make here's how I look at things. But to say seek help and block and leave, who does that? A woman. Or a woman in a man's body, a woman's spirit in a man's body. No, but so I already know, of course, but I'm happy that someone else wanted to engage with me in the chat, because I think it's funny. It's kind of sad to see the hate. I realized, like, oh yeah, of course he was a mama's boy too. His dad was kind of far away, distant to his dad. Mama's boy, loves his mom. There was one detail that I couldn't, that made it understandable that it was more sensitive to him, but it was not something I could have known about. But he goes on to explain that, of course he left because what else is there to do with your your views divorced from reality? I don't know quite how to translate it from Swedish. And he goes on about and you say that he's emotional like a woman. What does that even mean? It's so funny. It's like, well, it means what you're doing now. You can't even just talk like a man. You have to be all emotional and say that I'm like, because I'm in my video, I'm talking in a certain way, but not to these guys. I wouldn't just come in and be like, hey, you're all weak, soft men. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's Coach Theo in performance video mode. It's not how I talk to people directly in life like that. No, but so he lays it out. I don't remember it word for word, but pretty much this, like, I debated saying it, but feel like I gotta kind of defend the other guy here. Of course, he doesn't know how else to react. when you display or you share your crazy views, pretty much. You say emotional like a woman. What does that even mean? And then he goes on to say this stuff that what does he say? My incoherent ramblings, incoherent psychotic ramblings, he says. And it's so funny because I know that I have such a great flow in that video. So again, it's another projection. I know this guy has been on antidepressants and he cannot follow along with my video and say that I'm incoherent and psychotic. Who is actually incoherent and psychotic here? And he goes on and he says that I refer, that I'm like mad, I'm insane, and then I refer to myself as this messiah figure in the video. Again, that's what he made up. I said at the end of a sentence, I said like that I do like a Viking god, clarify that it's not something I would ever call myself, but lots of people have told me those literal words. I guess I'm a Viking god now. I did that in the Swedish video. It's probably not something I'm going to keep saying, but he made up that I'm talking as if I'm this messiah figure. It's like, yeah, you know the truth deep down, bro. Clearly, where would you get that? The messiah figure. Where would you get that? You sense that this is what's going on, and you're deep in hell. And then one thing, he also, it's so funny, like a woman, made so many assumptions about my views on things that I never said. Because I mentioned Corona, the COVID thing, and just like how it was ridiculous. People are afraid, they follow the rules. In Sweden, we don't need forcing rules, we just need social shaming. It will work great on the cowardly little Swedes. And I made clear that then, however, I think you're like kind of a, controlled coward, even if you go too far and think in every conspiracy, or everyone is going to die from this vaccine. So you say, I even took a clear stance that I'm not this most crazy afraid conspiracy nut. But he was emotional about that, and he said that, did you know that my mom died in COVID? Not some kind of fake virus, it was real. But I guess, and then he said something about how this is not an invitation to further discussion, and yeah, I guess you're gonna want to say still that it's a fake cold or something. It's like, of course, this entire spiel is like, okay, you're being emotional like a woman, but of course I feel bad that if his mom died from COVID. Like, no matter what we think about that, like, what was her health to begin with, stuff doesn't matter, it actually doesn't matter. I would understand why that's sensitive. Of course I don't want to throw in his face like, hey, you remember your mom dying this thing? And I'm kind of, minimizing what it was. It's like, of course I don't want to do that to anyone. So I responded in length that, hey, I appreciate the honesty. Should have not said honesty because he's lying to himself all over the place. But the openness, and I want to respond. I'm not going to push a discussion on you. I just want to respond. And then I said I have more to say, but I want to start with the part about your mom. I did not know about that. I'm terribly sorry about that. Of course, I didn't mean to pour salt in wounds like that, and to show respect. For my mistake there, I won't even say any counter argument to the facts of this about the COVID, but I didn't mention any conspiracy thing, and just be open to that you got my perspective wrong. So and when I went on and I explained that emotional like a woman being, I would think that a man can just watch a video and disagree and calmly present his differing view or just ignore it. Why would he need to say that? It kind of seems like he's emotional like a woman. And it's really funny to keep repeating this in someone's face, because they get more and more mad, and they kind of really prove more and more to themselves, like, see, you are emotional like a woman. It's so funny. And yeah, I don't remember. I don't have to say everything I said. Like the stream, guys. Maybe Superchat before I go. And yeah, I just ended it with that, because their both messages were so hateful, seek help, never talk to me again, I don't want anything to do with you ever again, insane, warped view of reality, insane, mad, psychotic ramblings, such hateful language, while me, I'm speaking straight facts in my video, but to them, it's all nice and loving. Which it is in the video too, but it wouldn't be loving to talk directly to them like that, if that was the setting. But I made my case, and I said at the end that, you know, I love you guys. I'm thankful for the time you were in my life. And you always have a friend here if you want to. And whoever doesn't want to, I couldn't give more of a shit if I never see you again for the rest of my life. That's exactly how I feel. And the funny thing is that I know two of the other guys in that chat. I'm like kind of gonna see them soon, and they think it's funny. It's like, yeah, people, so-called men. Ashamed to see. I love these guys, you know. I wouldn't wish, if I got to pick, I wouldn't have them get mad, emotional, like a woman, like that. But that's what we've been dealt. That's what they need. Musical stab artist. Guys, you gotta talk more. It's like, do you rebel against me? When she, let's say, musical stab artist filled in, I guess, when I was talking about it. When she finally died, one caveat, I had access to hydroxychloroquine. I got dengue fever, and that was way worse. I felt like I was going to legit die. You spell strange now. Like you say die, like, you know, like dying, like painting, you know, coloring something. But I still took that like a champ and was walking around doing stuff, being a real trooper. I didn't curl up into a ball and demand the world shut down and kiss my ass. Yeah. Yeah, man. I have nothing to say about that, unfortunately. But great, good. The big stone. I spell strange because it will censor it otherwise. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. Doug says, take on the latest debacle with the fake Natis, Hussein, etc. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm so over this bullshit. You know, it's one thing. You know, some drama is useful. Because, you know, we are social. There's a lot to learn from certain drama. And even, you know, the drama I engage with, like, I try to engage in it when it's productive, when I'm not just in an ego war for the sake of being in an ego war and winning an argument, right? But, you know, that's why I've had my thing. When I even made that video. Have you seen my video? It's called The Real Fake Natty Problem in the Fitness Industry, something like that. And I'm talking about this Hussein guy and all that, and I don't even give a shit if he's natural or not. I care about people getting the best natural results that they possibly can. And I know that this is the wrong place to put your focus in. And it's like, I cannot say mad. I'm like too calibrated right now to feel anger. But there is a frustration in it, like, why do you have to ruin everything, people? It's like, we're doing fitness. We're trying to lift, improve, become our best selves and support each other along the way. But no, let's just half-ass it. Let's just follow people that may or may not be lying about taking steroids and feel all righteous about consuming so much content on this, clearly at the expense of your personal process. I've never seen a person that's in amazing shape and also hyper-focuses on this kind of thing, you know? And now everyone is chiming in. This is what I mean. I weighed in on it and put like Greg Doucette's names in the title first. You know, I do some stuff like that because it's relevant to the topic. But it is because I have a very strong view on this, that forget about who's natty or not, moron. I'm telling you that it's hurting you. It's causing you damage to focus on it. And then the people show up, no, it is important. Oh, yeah, people don't focus. There's no one on a crusade against that. Well, because you're kind of on a crusade against. Why was it so important for you to tell me on my video, you know? Clearly, you're holding yourself back from gains, from overly focusing on fake naturals that aren't always fake even. And it doesn't matter because clearly you're all emotional and you know deep down that you could be trying harder. You're desperately defending the phenomenon of focusing on this. Yeah. So you see what I mean? I took the opportunity knowing that maybe I can get a bit more views using some people's names. It got a bit more views. It didn't really get picked up or anything. But I would never keep just using, like, because that's what everyone do now. It's, oh, use the trend. Oh, Hussein Farhat. Oh, Fake Daddy. Oh, the latest news. Fuck all of that. I'm so tired of it. Can anyone just take fucking responsibility for themselves and be positive and uplifting, you know? Hey, look at this great natural. You know, I'm gonna do that. It's not just about naturals, but I've been meaning, and I'm going to start doing it. It's just a question of when. But I'm gonna do the exact opposite, and I'm gonna start doing like positive content, love content instead of hate content. Like, look at this great person. Here are all the ways that are great and real, not fake. Whether it's a bodybuilder or not, like real person. Wow, real, true, and right person. Go follow this great person. What if we did things more like that? But of course, rather follow, look for things to blame for your lack of results other than yourself. Don't take responsibility for anything. Blame everyone else. Be stuck in being mediocre little shits together. That's what most people want to do. What a joke. Complete and utter joke. Yeah. Mystical Stab Artist, it's just an observation. I wish more people would be stoic like that and not be sissies. Yeah? You mean about when you were sick? You know, I think it's been so long now. You know, I can whine a bit in my head about being sick. I will not act like a little pussy. I might even whine out loud. That's the thing I say about complaining. You know, I know that it might be Marcus Aurelius that said, never be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. And I'm like, well, I agree most of the time, but sometimes that kind of thing can kind of like make you suppress shit when you actually need to externalize something. So I would tend to agree, like, don't complain for the most part, but you're allowed to complain if you're also doing the work at the same time. Then you get to talk about that it's tough. This fucking sucks, that I have to deal with this injury or whatever it is. It sucks if you do something about it. A lot of people, they are in love with their hell, right? So many people, when you're a trainer like me, and they, oh, you know, yeah, I used to gym, but then this injury, you know, oh, it's like very attached to this injury and seem all sad about it. Then me, the solution-oriented, growth-minded person, I'm like, tell me about the injury. Like, well, it's here. And it's this. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried it? And suddenly they're almost like angry that you're trying to take away their pain and their excuse to hold themselves back. Like, no, I just wanted to seem like I'm sad about my injury. Don't take it away. Don't help me heal it, so I actually have to do the work. And the thing is, when you see through it, it's like you see it everywhere. But I guess I'm not attached to the opposite either, like, because that's so easy for people. Like, oh, people, they're just so terrible. Thing is, you're terrible too, if you just sit and focus on how terrible other people are. It's one thing if I talk about it as a coach here on my YouTube channel, but if that's my focus when I have discussions with people in my life, like, oh, everyone sucks, everyone is so bad. How could you ever be good doing that? Doug, it's so sad in my opinion, everything for money. You're right, it's not really that important. It's more a somewhat hilarious shit show to me. Yeah, you mean about the fake natty drama and stuff? Yeah, well, look, man, just be cautious with how much you follow that kind of stuff. Because I'm like, nothing, it's okay. It's okay to indulge in some drama. I will observe a thing like that, you know, check in every once in a while. But I do not want to make it a pattern that, oh, what's the latest scoop on the juicy drama? Gotta get my meds, you know, no. So just to say, like, it's okay if that's how you view it. Just don't get stuck viewing too much of it, okay? Mo for Gains asks if I'm a fan of snooze. I am. Actually, I had one in. I'm behind today, so I get to take I'm gonna take my last one, and I'm still gonna end up having 5 instead of my daily limit of 6. Well, I have that. I'll chill with you guys. You know, I can chill as long as you talk a bit more. I would be happy if you sent a super chat. Christ is King. Send me a super chat and say Christ is King. You know, I like that. I still don't identify as a Christian, but I really like that. You know, I do like Jesus, and I like saying Christ is King. You know, I'm Jack the Stack Giga Chad and Christ is King. How beautiful. How beautiful of a sentence is that? So yeah, I am a fan of snus, as you can see. Doug, you know what hit me the other day? Do you know what hit me the other day? I've been lifting for 5 years or so. I've only made real progress since late 2023. Why? 1, I didn't know what I was doing. 2, I didn't really try. Lack of a goal. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Doug, you're the guy that's been trying to lose weight, right? How's that going now? More for gains. Yes, even a good therapist will tell you complaining and venting only good when you do something after it and not just complaining for the sake of complaining and not followed by actions. Exactly, man. Mystical Stab Artist. I can talk about a variety of topics. Too broke for super chats, but you will gain boundless wisdom. You know, man, if you dare to show your face also, I would have you on the podcast. Because I attract so many interesting individuals, you definitely being one of them. But you would have to show your face. If you would like to remain nameless, that's another story. But I'm not going to have a podcast with, you know, just an avatar. I'm just not going to. There's another guy that I told him. He started talking with me in the comments, and he turned out to be real badass. Like it was very clear from what he said. And he was speaking like maybe I should do what you do. I kind of want to quit my job anyway. And I told him, well, quit your job, put out a video and tell me, and I promise, if I don't see anything that completely disproves what I thought, I'll have you on the podcast. It's called Human Beings. Yeah. Mystical Tavar said, cool, I appreciate that. Yeah. You know, I'm being sincere also. Like you'd make me laugh, if nothing else. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, you guys are quite quiet. I'll walk back with you. Then we'll just see. Doug says, correct. I cut down from 95 kg to 81 kg, but I was already 17 weeks in by then. So I decided to try to recomp instead for a while and then redo the cut. I was eating 1800 cals and I bumped it up now. Yeah, man. Just, you know, just as long as that is true. You know, always, guys, this is what I'm trying to teach you, that it's like okay to change direction. But in that case, you know, sometimes it's like, to what degree are you lying to yourself? I don't know yet that you are, but it's just a sense I get. It's like, I cut down from this to this, but I was already this far in. And it's like, okay, and? You know, it's like an arbitrary thing, but I was already 17 weeks in, and some people spend years losing weight. See what I mean? Already 17 weeks, so I decided to try to recomp instead for a while, and then redo the cut. It's like, well, you're just tired of cutting, and you wanted a relief, and you wanted to eat a bit more before you try again, because that's okay, but that's the way you should tell it, not just to me, not to yourself. Do you understand? People lie to themselves to different degrees all the time, and everything works out better when you align your English words, in this case, with the actual word, the word of the truth in you. Doesn't matter how you choose to frame it if it isn't entirely sincere. You see what I mean? Because I've done this too, guys. I've lied to different degrees about myself too. And I mean, I'm sure I will about something again. But right now, I'm so much in a state of truth. It's like, why would I not tell the truth? Why bend? Why not just admit, hey, I'm not the best at everything. I am great. But yeah, this thing I failed. I think I have to try different. I think I have to take it chill, you know. It's okay. Just be honest. That's what I told a salesman that called me recently. Since I'm a coach and I noticed that, okay, this guy is just going on and on, of course I can click. But again, I saw it as a sign, like, okay, I'm supposed to listen to this guy's pitch. He was great salesman. He was really great at, because I am very, I have lots of fun with being extremely direct with my deep voice that, yeah, I'm definitely not interested in that now. And you would save a lot of time if you just stopped. And he's very good at just keep going in a way that doesn't seem like he's completely ignoring what I say. But the thing I did not like, I really tried to make him be honest about this new phone operator deal. What you told me, it's exactly what I have, and it's the same price, but more data. That's all. There's no catch. I asked him so many times. There's no catch. And then when we get further on, when he's gonna walk through the contract, it's like, okay, so you're selling me now that not only do I have to commit to 2 years, which is fine. That's a typical thing when you have what do you say that? Like a subscription, right? A phone subscription. But he didn't tell it when I asked so many times, what's the catch? What's the catch? What's the catch? And then I'm like, well, okay, that doesn't really matter much. But you should, as the coach, but you should have said that. You gotta notice when you have a person like me, I appreciate honesty. I do not appreciate feeling like I was very clear what I asked about and then still feel, but you still hid something from me. Because why should I trust you then? You feel like you have something to hide. You don't believe in what you do. But I'm like, but to be nice now, I'll take the deal. And then it moved on to being, it was not only that you committed to 2 years, it's going to go back to a way shittier price after these 2 years. And I'm like, man, it's like, I'm happy enough. I told you I'm happy enough with what I have that's permanent. And now I've been so clear that I want you to tell the truth with me. And I have to find out twice that you weren't entirely honest. Unfortunately, man, this is not going to work out. But hey, Uncommon Sense on YouTube, at Uncommon Sense Fitness on Instagram. I'll help you instead. He actually reached out, texted me, and said something about Jesus Christ. No, I liked the guy, but I did not like that he was lying about the catch. It's one thing to be strategic in your pitch, but when a guy like me asks, like, I'm giving you signs I want to buy. I'm giving you signs I want to buy, just straight up telling me what's this aspect. And if you just told me then, I would be like, okay, cool. Yeah, makes sense, sure. Mo Forgain said, I would like to be in your podcast also, but I will wait till I start posting content and get some traction. I'll use going on your podcast as motivation to start posting more, lol, as a treat if you get me. Absolutely, man. I won't be, because some people that start doing videos, they do this disrespectful thing, when they just drop their video on me and just expect me to watch it. I immediately feel like not watching it. If I would have wanted to watch it to begin with, done the wrong way, I'd be like, no, not happening. I've had this one guy recently that I can sense he commented on all my stuff, and I can tell that he's just looking for attention to his thing. Like, he probably likes me, but it's like, it's too obvious. It's too obvious. You're not even watching the videos at this point. You're just pretending to do it, trying to, advertise your own stuff. No, sorry, you lost me there. Mo Forgains, because I know you're a good guy already, if you do, I don't know if you posted anything yet, but if you post like a first video or something, feel free to send it to me. I'll definitely watch like the first video from a guy that's respectful. I'm just saying I cannot just start following, but I would watch a video. And Mo Forgain says, it took me 3 years to lose 55 kg. Yep. You see, Doug, some people are in a state of weight loss for a longer time. Doug says, my reasoning was this. I could have kept on pushing, but I honestly didn't like how small I got. My goal was never single-digit body fat percentage. My goal was always around 12% or so. Here's a weed smoker joining me in my location. Most definitely like 100% what's going on. He has earphones, so he doesn't hear me. My reasoning was this. Yeah, you said it. My goal was always around 12% body fat or so. I got skinny fat. I didn't want to keep grinding just to hit 12% and lose a bunch of muscles along the way. I'd rather build more muscle and then cut down again because I am happy the way I'm looking now. Well, that's a great story. Is it true? You're the one that knows. Yeah, I don't have too much more to say. I just said what I sensed first. When you tell an entire story like that, I am more inclined to think like, yeah, there's something, it's mostly true, but it's also like some excuses in there. Do you see what I mean? It's like, it's fine. It's fine to, you don't have to explain why. It's like, no, I was just tired of cutting. I want to maintain for a bit. Why the need for a longer story, you know? Are you gonna tell me why the need with an even longer story? It's typical, right? And you know that this drives people mad with me, because like, when you explain things, Theo, well, it's a different story when I'm here to explain things. That's literally what I do. You know? It's okay, man. I'm like just poking at you. Yeah, I still think you're a good guy doing well for the most part. You ask me stuff, so you clearly are working on, you know, you come back in between. It's more like I'm trying to show you that perhaps you're escaping just a little bit of something here. Yeah. It's 100% true. Is anything 100% true? Or can you only have a perspective that's very, very close to the 100% truth? More for gains, I posted some on Instagram and you actually liked one of the vids a while ago. But I closed Instagram like yesterday to take a break from social media. When I get back, I'll let you know it's me. Okay, man. Interesting. What video was that? I know, I think you wrote to me in between some of these streams, and I'm like, that's, see, that's the weed smoker. I think you wrote to me there, but you have a different name there. Sometimes, you know, if I like a guy that DMs me, sometimes I will just go watch the profile once, you know. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna start heading back. So if you want to make me talk about something, I'm sorry if I annoyed you, Doug. It's not what I mean to do. You're doing great. It's fine. Like, you know, when I talk about stuff, it's like, I know I'm gonna be right very often. That's why I'm here, but I'm not always going to. It's like, from what you're telling me, where I determine you are in your journey, it's like, there might be a small degree of self-deception here. Overall, you're gonna keep doing well, but I'm telling you, the straighter you can be with yourself. If it's, I want to be leaner, I want to be bigger, but I cannot get everything I want at once, so I'll just change focus for a while. You know, it took me a long time. I'm never gonna be really happy with bulking. Not cutting either. You always lose something. And when you're cutting, you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna be as strong. I'm gonna be a little hungry sometimes. Oh, it was so nice to just eat a lot and bulk and push progress. Ah. Then when you bulk, it's like, oh no, I kind of have to force feed after a while because my metabolism is high. And oh no, I mean, yeah, it's nice to make gains again, but now I don't like it. The way I look in the mirror. Ah. It's like, you're never entirely happy with it. You just have to embrace, like, yeah, you cannot do everything at once. You can recomp. Sometimes you can do a bit of something at once, but you cannot do that at any time. So yeah, man, just some food for thought. More for gains. You liked my reel before I started watching the streams, I believe. It was my body transformation video, like before and ever. Ah, man, you did the thing, it went a little viral. You did it with a Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire transformation thing. You know, when you wake up. And you made a point that the physique standard is insane. It's funny because I also remember seeing Tobey Maguire wake up there when I'm like 10 years old, like, man, he is jacked. He's like ripped. Now when I see it, I'm like, okay, he's like the shape I was in after 5 months of training. Yeah, let's see here. I feel like I annoyed you a little bit, Doug, which I didn't mean to do. It's not like I know what I'm doing. I would say, you say it's not like I know what I'm doing when cutting. If that's what you said, maybe I didn't annoy you. I listened to a ton of people, and the advice I got was never cutting for longer than 16 weeks. Kind of took it for the truth. Maybe I was wrong. Depends. Depends on who you are and where you are at. And you decide sometimes, you know, many things can be right to do. It's more about you being true to yourself, what's going on, you know, that's my point here. Like, you know, let's take that skinny fat individual, they could go harder on a cut, they could focus, if they could delay being more ripped, they could bulk harder to make a bit faster muscle gain progress, they could also recomp. All of it depends on the person, like what am I able to do right now? Am I honest about my choice? You know, that's what I'm saying. You see what I mean? Gotta start walking back. Oh. Maybe I'll find the weed guy. Get a hit. Nah. You see, when I go into my ego, instead of looking at the camera, I look at myself on the screen. It's not entirely true. Sometimes, especially on a stream, it's kind of easy. You just stare at the face. It is a skill, guys, when you record videos. Get comfortable. I mean, I'm literally, to anyone else that's not watching the stream, I'm sitting talking to a phone for myself, you know. And that thing, even with that, you're too used to looking at a face. Even if you're not really looking at how do I look, it's just natural to look at a face. You have to get used to staring into the side, into the camera. Let's go stealth. Let's go stealth mode, boys. We wouldn't want to get caught here with our Chad stream. Yeah, this is all I have. Yeah. Take a look. Doesn't come across at all how pretty it is. Can I do it like that? It's kind of pretty. Like the stream, guys. Maybe bribe me to stick around with a super chat. That's the thing. I always show that I don't really have to be bribed. And that's the thing. That's Theo's biggest problem, being too nice. It's funny, right? With all the people that think you're, you know, a mean guy. In the end, I'm the nicest guy. A little bit too nice in the end. I wish for wings. Morning, coach. Well, it's evening here. Well, morning to you. I wish for wings is a little king in making. He's gonna have an epic story of redemption. Redemption is not even right. Revenge is not right either. You know, a great story of overcoming, let's say. Showing everyone who the fuck was right all along. Who was best all along. Who is the loser here? I didn't find a rhythm in that, but all the others are losers. That's what he's gonna prove. Not with that as motivation. That's never good. It should be for you always, that you work on you. But it is a reward that you get. That when you actually did the work, everyone didn't. You get to enjoy. Look at me now, you fuckers. Wronged me in all these places. Look at me now. That's gonna be wings. I'm gonna be here on stream, and you're gonna see something majestic moving along the sky. I'm gonna be like, hey, that's my little bro. Wings. Gee, man, I hope you've been well since we spoke last time. Very respectful, this guy. Addresses me as a coach and stuff. Let's see now. Where were we before then? Mystical Stab Artist, start thinking about buying land for a rock house. Create a second channel for it. You know, man, you lead by example. I'd like to see you do it. The way you do it, you know much better about rocks than me. That could be your first YouTube video. You have a great idea here. Why is it that so many people have great ideas and they tell you to do it? And it's like, well, why you don't do it? And he also says, where I am, there are stone fences that are many kilometers long. made by Irish farmers from stones, cleared from the field. They don't even have mortar. They still stand today. That's cool, man. It's very interesting. Doug, you get different advice from everyone, so it's kind of like throwing darts in the dark. Yeah, man. But I'm telling you, you get honestly the truest and realest advice there is on weight loss and diet here. Like, I'm not saying that I'm the only one, but it's like, trust that this channel is different. It is uncommon. It literally is. Since the start, I've never been like, this is, my diet, my nutrition plan. It's like, no, my nutrition philosophy, honestly. It's kind of just math in the end. And there are some things that you kind of have to find out that, losing muscle, I guess, sometimes I don't get it all right because maybe I project on you that you already know some things, but some things are just like, you just don't know them quite yet. Because, losing muscle, for instance, it's just not a thing. It's just not really a thing if you don't mess up completely. If you eat protein and you still train, and you train with the same effort you would as when you're bulking or something. It's like, unless you do something extreme, like stop sleeping, you see what I mean? Or you go down extremely low in body fat. Losing muscle is not really a thing. And a thing like that, they can, of course, because there's so much fear-mongering about stuff like this. Do this to avoid losing muscle when cutting. It's like, yeah, don't be a complete moron. That's it. That's all you have to do. But of course, you have to find some of these things out for yourself through experience. But I'm telling you, man, it's just math, mainly, in the end. Can you make a negative calorie energy balance continuously over time? Well, there's so many ways you can achieve that. And if you can do that, you're going to lose weight. With building muscle, it's just like, well, okay, you got to make progress. You got to apply progressive overload. As long as that happens, you will gain muscle. You see, that's what it boils down to in the end. There are many ways there, and there can be nuances to all of this, but that is the big picture thing. So I understand, definitely, it is a bit like fumbling in the dark, because there's so much different information, there's poor information, there's like people that want you to scare you from something, towards something, to gain attention. That's why action beats everything. It beats everything. Just do. You will find out. No one can tell me anything like, oh, fasting isn't good. You lose muscle. It's like, no, moron. I've done it. Do you see me? Does it look like I lost muscle? People accuse me of taking steroids all the time. And I've been doing, during this time, quite a bit of prolonged fasting. And you're telling me that you should know better, Theo. You lose muscle. How stupid are you? So not you, Doug. I'm just having a little speech on the topic. And I'm kind of hoping to motivate you that, hey man, you can figure it out if you want to. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, it was a different guy. About the reel. I said the Spider-Man reel. And let's see, Mr. Gustav Artist, the rocks. And he went on about the rocks. They're 200 years old, these Irish rocks. Society may collapse soon. Seriously, there's chaos in China. Also, trading partners is one major cause of society collapse. Soon. I mean, collapse? It's like, collapse is, the society is just functional on the surface. Really? Like, look. What the fuck? So many things are messed up. Like, guys, maybe show daddy, not daddy, shouldn't say daddy now. It's so fun. I mean, it's more like, it's more to haters. I'm the daddy, right? But it sounds funny. It sounds more funny to say daddy Theo than brother. But I am the brother. And right now I am to you, at least. No forgains. I said it was not him. Doug, you don't annoy me. I welcome honest advice. I appreciate that, Doug. You know, you cannot completely sense it always. You know, it's the most difficult actually when people are quite neutral, you know. They're just responding in text, you know, because you're looking for the tone. Like, is it this or this? Is it this or this? And it's like, well, there's almost no tone. So then you might fill in the blanks wrong. I've noticed so much from coaching. You learn a lot from how certain people read your messages. You can learn about yourself a lot that way too. And Mo for Gains told you, Doug, that to the dude that's cutting, please consider diet breaks every now and then. You stay at maintenance for a couple of weeks to get rid of diet fatigue. That helped me a lot. Yeah, man, that's kind of what I'm saying, that if you're honestly happy to do something differently, go for it. But if you're just kind of diet fatigued, like was suggested here, that's always a thing too. You can always just, instead of changing the goal, it's like, well, I'll just chill with that for a little bit. You know, pour some oil on that metabolic flame, and just for the good feel, it's like I can relax a bit with the food for a while, then I pick it up again. You know, I have many people that are way worse off than you, Doug, that I have to just, they think we're gonna start digging deep in their fat loss to begin with. I'm like, look, bro, in your current situation, you're just gonna be disappointed when you fail to do it. Let's build some good habits first, so that you actually, you know, sleep all right, you eat all right, and you train all right. When that is in place, now we'll start digging. So what's right to do always depends, like exactly what's right. It's not the same for every person, even if the circumstance is similar. But the main thing is always be honest. Honest about what you're doing, what you actually want, what you're capable of. Truth wins, always. And Mofurgain said, I was taking 1 to 2 week breaks every 3 months of cutting or so. So you should all listen to this guy, because he lost a lot of weight. Lots of weight. And you see him in the picture now. Doug, by the way, Theo, I know I asked you about this cutting thing a while back. And I asked you how you got that ripped when you first started lifting. You actually said you did a first cut, but recomped a bit in. Do you mean now recently? When you said how you got that ripped when you first started lifting, it wasn't exactly like that. I was kind of skinny fat, and then I just knew I was training to build muscle now, so I should eat a lot. That's what I heard. And then I realized after a while that, hey, I made some gains, muscle gains now, but I should probably lose weight. And I recomped for a little bit, but then at that point, it was like I reached a point where I'm not able to cut deeper, and I'm not making gains either. So that took me, that was like 4 months in or something. I'd gone down from around 83 kilos to like 71, 72, now looking quite athletic. Then I started bulking. I went up to like 80, I think, for the next year. Cut down, definitely upgraded. Then there's just been these cycles of bulking, cutting, with a recomp period here and there. You know, that's the thing. I did a very successful recomp at the start of last year, 2024. I went from 90 kilos to 88 in like 4 months. Made gains, everything, even like bench pressing exercises that historically have been very difficult for me to do. It's so interesting. The more you get dialed in at the point, guys, it's like, it's not even about what should I do on like, should I have this surplus or should I do this? It's like, you cannot even quite put the finger on exactly. I just know that I know exactly what to watch with myself. And I can dial it in so much. Like you see that I failed to recomp when I had higher body fat percentage and less muscle back in the day. Then, you know, then I managed to recomp when I'm way more advanced. It's like, oh, it shouldn't work like that. Well, I would have made better progress if I could go back into the body of Theo back in the day, being the person I am now. But it doesn't work like that. You have to learn to dial stuff in. That's why it can be like, oh, how did he suddenly make gains there or something? Like, well, because he was just a lot better at what he's doing now. Doug, so a bunch of different input made me make that decision. Yeah, man. I just wanted to give you some food for thought. And then whatever you decide to do, just make sure you're honest about it. That's the only thing. That's one thing I've learned, guys, especially this year. The truth matters so much. Even about things that is like, it's not immoral to anyone. You're not hurting anyone else by saying, like a little lie about something you do with your fitness process, for instance. But it always works out better when you're more truthful. It's so interesting. Even on the smallest stuff, it matters. I never compromise with a big truth. That's always been kind of my thing. But many smaller truths I've denied, or at least partly denied. I'm seeing now this is the year I'm living most completely and fully aligned with the truth. Everything is just clicking. Because truth, God is truth, love is truth. The nature of existence is truth. And when you go against it, you get way more of an unpleasant experience. A little spiel. Mystical Saver, it's getting worse around here. There are zombie crackheads that wander around at night, and I'm not in a bad area. If sheep stopped coming to Sweden, could it survive? Sheeps. Okay, on that note, Proverbs 13:22. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but the sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. I have to digest that. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. So the good person, they make like generational wealth, is the point. But the sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. I know that's the part I have a hard time kind of just understanding, even on just a grammatic level. The sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. Can you explain what you mean, or what your takeaway is from that? Because I'm right now, it's not entirely clicking for me. And he says, I don't have enough rocks on my land to do it. So I said, I already have a house there. Well, I don't have land or rocks at all, and you think I'm in a better position to do it? It's your thing, man. I wouldn't want to take a rock thing. I'm just waiting. I'd like to hear you. I'm going to finish the stream and go inside soon, but I'd just like to hear you. I was curious about that quote. A good person leaves inheritance for their children's children, but the sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. I even remember it. Sinner's wealth. More forgets. I have to go shower and meal prep for the week. It was a great talk to you. Take care, and we appreciate your existence, Habibi. Habibi, you remind me of a guy. He has sold the shop and is a different owner, but a store here. He would always call me Habibi. Tjena mannen. Välkommen. Tjena Habibi. And with thanks, man, I appreciate you. I'll see you another time, and good luck with the meal prep. I'm just seeing if I can get Mystical Stab Artist's take on this quote from the Bible. I'll give it to 250. Oh. Can hear all these student parties in the distance now. I so long for when they're over. You know, I'm really like a grumpy old man. Can you be quiet? Some of us are trying to sleep here. But it's like, I want them to get to do it. I'm just annoyed by it. Sounds, loud sounds. Don't like it. So, my dear stone enthusiast, you're not going to explain that? You're going to leave it for me to ponder? It seems so. It seems so. It's crazy to me how I can just do these long streams all the time. I'm not going to do them all the time eventually, that's what I know. But at the moment, it's like, yeah, I mean, if there was a lot of action, why would I not keep going, kind of? Well, because I kind of have to. This is right around the time it should end. That would be the reason. But it's like, let's pretend there wasn't a time like that. I could easily just say, yeah, I'll just be here. Just be here with the guys. One final check. Nope. He's leaving it for me to ponder. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for today, guys. Is there any closing words I'm looking for here? I appreciate you. I love you guys. Having a great time. I'm sensing that I'm going to have to be very patient. I'm doing lots of great work, honestly, right now. It's not just on YouTube. Like, it's going great with my clients, lots of stuff. But it's like, for the little ego Theo, some like direct results, you know. It's not so much yet. And I can see how it's like the temptation. Like, things should happen faster. I should be getting more. This and this and this and that. But that's what I learned with the truth. You stay true to doing the right thing. The right things will come to you in the end as well. Let's end on that note, guys. Thank you for today. Yeah, I will see you later. Peace.